about to from Frank. Come on, you know that.
And do you know my body still shakes?
Then why do you always tell me that you're okay?
That I'm okay because I want to be a grateful person.
I don't know about that. That's pathological lying.
With my body shaking?
No, saying, hey, I'm great, I'm okay, I'm over it. Doing great, living my best life.
Did I say that? I just said I was happy.
Military can convey confidence in a currency. You know, if there's a war going on and one country's beating the other country, their currency.
No, I'm struggling. Like, the truth is I am struggling. But I'm getting through it. Is that a fair answer?
Nothing wrong with struggling. We're all struggling all the time.
I'm struggling.
Anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah. Why are you muffled?
Because I'm washing my car, maybe. And, like, the washer thing is making noises. I don't know.
Okay. Usually you're
Am I still muffled? Am I still muffled?
A little bit, but it's better. Yeah. But I saw Minecraft. It was when he says his move before he does it. Those made me laugh.
Which one?
When he would say head fake.
What about when he rides Momoa like a
Oh,
pony?
I know, and he's pulling his hair.
Oh my god. That's such a childish.
But I couldn't help but feel that there was some inappropriate stuff in there for children. Like the sandwich that they were making where it looks like they're in a sexual position. Yeah. Or in the beginning when he, like, usually somebody says, I'm gonna F your mind up, F your mind out, and he's like, I mind my brain out, or whatever like that. Just like weird sexual, undertones. And homosexual undertones.
I think when you're a kid, like, it's just a silly position, because, like, you poop from that position. I don't think it's like that. Yeah.
But it's almost like planting the seeds, and then you get older and you look back, you're like, what? What did I just watch?
I hope not. I hope you're wrong.
Me too. I was like...
What do you know, Muramadura?
I know nothing. I'm Jon Snow.
The dryer is broken.
The dryer is broken?
I was just reading that's what it said. The dryer is broken. Mm-hmm. Let's take a quick hand wash myself on my car.
I wore my infamous shoes today.
Infamous?
Yeah, the shoes and the heels and the video. I hadn't worn them since that day.
Of course, now that you are acting very reasonable, the media has nothing to say.
I need to be as balanced as possible. Like, that's what I seek to be, is a balanced person.
Okay. That means.
Oh, that means what?
That means that if you are getting upset on Clubhouse, you have to leave.
That's what I did today.
Rather than stick around like a gossip.
Yeah.
Trying to hear.
Yeah, for
sure. You know who does that too? Stick around, trying to hear what people say about them? Rico.
But do you know, Rico sent me a message today, but I didn't click it because I didn't know if it was a virus. I'm suspicious. But, Diego, I actually did that today. I went into Melissa's audience, And that weirdo Frankie, like, I don't know, he acts like he's like some stud. I imagine him as a short, fat guy. But he wanted to start picking on me, and I listened for like 2 seconds and then I left. But I agree with you. One of the things that I've been telling myself, you don't have to be on Clubhouse. You don't have to, as much as I want to be, I want to be around you. I'm like, okay, even if Diego has rooms, maybe it's good if you take a break from Clubhouse for a little bit. So.
Right.
That's also one of the reasons I didn't go in the room when you were with Anissa's room the other day.
Yeah.
But I missed your company, so then I'm like, okay, because you never know when you're gonna be able to, whenever you're gonna be on.
Yeah. I think like no ground for stand on. He didn't say anything, so he thinks he knows. It hasn't really worked using it himself.
Yeah. I would like to be cool. You're muffled again. I like to be cool with girls, but Issa doesn't want to be cool.
She's very angry.
Do you believe that comedian's not reporting right now? I believe he's reporting.
He always does.
Yeah, so he lied.
No, I didn't lie. I wasn't recording them, but I'm recording now.
Okay.
He can't help himself. He's consumed by his own Judaism.
Yeah.
He can't help it.
Do you know the video that I sent you of my husband talking about Islam? It reminded me of how people like make Islam very legalistic. I thought you would appreciate what he was saying.
Okay.
So, that's all.
You know, your husband looks like Tiffany Namos, and I don't like Tiffany Namos.
Who does he look like?
Like Tiffany Namos, Randy.
Oh, he looks like him? Really? But he's an Arab.
Well, tell you what I see.
Okay. But I thought Saifuddin was your friend.
No, Tiffany's an African.
Oh.
We're friendly. Hi.
Yeah. But he has black hair. Osama's hair is like more like brown. Like light brown. Did you ever debate him? Saifuddin?
Yeah.
Mr. Ubran to bronze. That's what.
I just said. I can't stand guys on Purple Green. Anyway.
But you support, you like his book, the Bitcoin Standard.
No, I
right?
don't. I think it's wrong.
Oh, okay. I thought you had thought it was good, so I got it on my Audible.
No.
Oh.
Stupid.
Why don't you teach about that stuff?
Maybe I should.
You can start with me. I've been asking. But you were like, you don't need to know.
Maybe I will. I don't know. I mean, the only way you have to have a job or police officer. Yeah, they actually. Was that what we wanted to do? No, we wanted to risk their lives giving great children.
Yeah.
Not that and financial. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it makes me, yeah.
You really want that?
Yeah. I was thinking about how you thought I was cruel for saying what I said to Todd, I guess, whatever day it was, but,
I do think you were really cool.
should I call him and apologize?
Well,
was out of control or down to
Well, the thing is, I don't think it was cruel. I think it was. I think he was the one that was cruel to me.
Some other unknown time. In my past life.
Yeah, a long time ago.
If you were that fool, why would you answer the phone? Think about it.
Initially, I answered the phone because I didn't know the number. And so I answered, I talked to him for a few minutes, I hung up. I didn't call him back. And then he called me when we were on Clubhouse, and you suggested I call him and put on speaker, and so I did. And then the later interactions were more of just like, I don't care about this person, but I'm curious what's going on. And so I guess you could say curiosity or boredom. But I was very, very much loyal to this guy and in love with him when I was young. Like but that was a different Nura than who I became. Like I saw him as this underdog type guy and misunderstood and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that was when I was 19. And then I moved on from him. I got engaged to Tamer. He was a very good Egyptian that lived in Michigan. And then I broke his heart and went back to Tariq.
You see?
And then when I was 23 and I was still a virgin, he took that from me on my period. And it was very traumatizing. It was very traumatizing. I never had
to be classified as.
I mean, sure, we can call it. I didn't fight back. I asked London and I wanted him to stop, but he yelled at me, so I just gave up. So I just didn't say anything. I figured if I fought, it would be worse. But I never had an orgasm with him ever, because obviously I had sex with him afterwards, consensual, and I've never had a single.
Did you pretend?
Never. I never
Did you
pretended.
care?
Nope.
Oh, that's a bad lover.
Exactly. That's why I could never be with him.
I could see that enraging a woman and not call it rape later.
No, Diego.
Women care about.
No, I care about pleasing my husband. Like, I care about, like, I like. Yeah, so it's not about, it wasn't about, oh, I never orgasmed and the enraged. No, he, like, tore my soul that night. Like, I don't want to say what exactly happened because it's just...
It'll be a big turn off.
Being live streamed.
No, it's not about it being a turn off. It's about it being harmful. Like, it was just... Why should I repeat the details? But, yeah. I sold my diamond ring, actually. I told him to come get it because we got engaged after. Like, I was engaged to him when I was 24. It was a beautiful ring. And I told him to come get it, and he didn't. So I, like, held on to it maybe for a year or two, and then I sold it. I sold it for the exact price that he bought it.
Did it make you feel bad?
He was using it. No, he was using my credit card, so he had accrued like credit card debt for me, so I just paid off my credit cards with it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I reminded him, I was like, you know, you used my credit cards and never paid me back. He's a loser.
Not cool. Not cool. at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Then again, you should have credit cards to begin with.
Well, I do it for cash back. Like, I pay the statement balance and I get my cash back on it.
You get it.
You know what do you know like what I mean by cash back? Because I don't know if you use credit cards. Okay.
No, I'm a cash man myself.
I have cash on me because my brother had given me some cash and my uncle gave me cash. And my husband had, the last time I had seen him, he had given me cash. And so I like to have cash on me, but I don't like to spend it. Like, kind of put it away. If that makes sense. Bowman versus Tin Man. How was your day?
But I think that the Tin Man has no souls.
What's comedian's thought on that?
He went into the military. He loved the government. The government supports him.
Well, let me ask you this, because you had posted a picture before in uniform. You went to the military too?
I can't answer that with comedian recording.
Okay. Yeah. You know, it looks like my niece is going to be a redhead. She's so cute.
Oh.
I'm thinking of her because of the toys around me.
The boys?
Yeah, they're just over. I don't even know who Soul Man and Tin Man are supposed to be.
No. You're not going to get it. These are American references.
I know. What am I, just an Israeli lost in America because Palestine doesn't exist?
Well,
Imagine if they just absorbed all the people and it was all Israel and there was never any occupation and everybody lived happily ever after.
oh, sounds terrible. Would Jews running it? Sounds like a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah. But you've seen it. Can't believe you did it.
Okay, Kirsten.
Nice. I've been wanting to detail the car myself. I can't believe Lou made a dating app, marriage profile on a Muslim app.
He wants it so bad.
I have a profile on the app, and he put it to where I could see him.
On purpose, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, that Lou, he just loves that Middle Eastern ayah.
I think it's more of Indian that he loves more than Middle Eastern.
And Indian, yeah. He loves it. He's just obsessed with it.
Yeah, he really is. Randy is like, I like the white girls that don't ask, because when they don't ask, I give them, and the Arab girls are entitled. And Diego was like, you're right about so. I was like, I'm the only Arab girl Diego knows. So, Diego, you think I'm entitled?
Hell yeah.
That's sad.
But you are super entitled.
How so?
It's the way you carry yourself. What I like. This is a typical. Who's fighting all these fights in these colleges, yelling at the guy saying, "You're a murderer! You're a murderer! Let my people go! I can't believe you're not doing this." Like, you've seen it.
Yeah.
That's Buddha.
But I actually stayed away from
And where are all the
protests.
men? Where are all these men? Beating the women.
Yeah. But I agree with you. But I stayed away from protests for that reason. I didn't want to be around that stuff. I wanted to protect myself because I didn't want anything like what happened to me happen. But it happened.
Because you guys are entitled. So when it comes down, when you're in the real world, outside of daddy's home, life comes at you fast. You know, and like Siddhartha, you don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you start building delusions of grandeur.
Sounds like mental illness. Back to the beginning of the conversation.
I mean, the guy saw so much pain that he developed a religion where he was the Buddha.
Who?
Siddhartha,
I don't know who that is.
the creator of Buddhism.
Okay. That's the creator of Buddhism? Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool
Comedian
that
can tell you all about it.
I think comedian fell in the toilet.
We could only be so lucky.
You're usually pretty kind to him.
He's been extra mean to me lately, haven't you noticed?
I actually haven't noticed that. I thought he stopped saying the dangerous stuff. He stopped saying all the other stuff.
For like a day.
I know. I think he's being nice to me, and then the next breath, he starts saying the things that he says. Yeah. Comedian has been in a psychiatric hospital.
Oh, shit. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, he's never mentioned it.
Yeah, he has. He's talked about it. He's openly talked about it. I remember. Comedian, tell us about your psychiatric hospitalization. I think he probably left the camera running and went to the gym. And his line is just streaming for Abby.
Let's get them, man. We're going for a snack. Here come.
Here you go.
Your fat ass, I wouldn't feed you anyway. I don't like the way your wig sit on your head.
I'm fucking dead.
But I'm not arguing for it. I just rode 2 miles on a bike and lit my celebratory blunt. What? That would be counterproductive to fuss.
Me neither.
Oh, that profile picture is gonna get the jobs hustling.
Virtually?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's
That's cool. It was just unprovoked. Went back and forth with me. I didn't go back and forth with you. You made a whole room about me. You want to be mad about a PTR? Nah, you're not just going to sit up here and try to fake bully somebody. I ain't do shit to you.
They're still doing numbers and putting everybody in a subjugation type situation that you don't want to be in, stealing out of your pockets, ruining your children's future, on and on and on and on, right? The real pernicious, cancerous stuff, right? The whites are doing those things. Tyrone's just like bothering you for the day. That's what he's doing, for the most part, right? There's some other stuff that'll ruin you for the rest of your life, but the whites are winning in that regard. Thank you. Have a nice.
Well, there's no question that the economic scale between the race and the whites are absolutely tipped in the gargantuanly larger category.
Yeah, why is that? Why is that?
Winning. But to
Well,
be clear,
why is-
I mean, I don't think
why
that this
is
is actually like
why is
something that
that,
could be a big
this-
focus.
Shut up.
Like,
Why
I
is
don't
that?
think.
Is
I
this
don't
not a
think,
big focus?
Like, I don't think like black criminality or something is something that should get a lot of like attention.
Stop
It's
it
like,
out there.
oh well, this really needs to be addressed.
That's what the whole conversation was. That's the whole game. You created an entire segment to analyze black criminality compared to white criminality. That was what you wanted. What are you talking about? What do you mean? That's what we just did with seven. What is going on? Oh my God.
He's mocking.
Oh, this is crazy. Own it. Own it. Y'all gotta own it.
The question
The
about
point of
something.
that was to just like show, well, like I think people kind of dissent from this idea that black people are more likely to commit crime than whites, and this is just like kind of like a clean way to lay it out, at least a better way than like what was tried when I was like before I proposed this.
Yeah, I agree. You bored the room, like, with your voice.
I disagree.
I appreciate that, new guy.
Yeah, so there's two houses. Both houses have 10 people. And one house has 4 people that commit the crime. One house has 5 people that commit the crime. You can say the one that has 5 people that commit the crime is more dangerous. I'm going to use that word. I'm going to use that triggering word. More dangerous. There's no question about it. I don't know why we're arguing this. But then we're going to say, you know what? The house that has 5 crimes committed, yeah, it's higher. It's higher. But then guess what? The one that has the higher number of crimes committed doesn't actually have 10 people. It has 20 people. Versus the house that has 10 people that has 4 people commit the crime. This is why. This is why per capita is important. I know you guys hate the word per capita. I get it. It's a very triggering. It makes you feel like, no. This word was meant for just us. But no, per capita has a purpose. So if I had a house of 20, a house of 10, and the house of 20 had 5 crimes, and the house of 10 had 4 crimes. Yes, it's true. The house of 20 has more crimes. But 6 out of 20 committed crimes versus 5 out of 10. Per capita does matter, and people in the insurance industry use these per capita numbers that you guys hate so much. There's a purpose for them.
I think you got a good point. But I do think that where people go wrong is they take a blanket analysis, and so now it's like, okay, I think where you have to start looking is where do you deem there to be a threat to your own personal safety or well-being. And for example, if you are a white person and you look at black folks and you're like, okay, I need to know exactly what is the likelihood it is for me to be a victim of a violent crime. Well, you gotta look at who are the victims of black people committing violent crime. And as it is with most races, most victims of violent crime are usually made a victim by someone in their own race, you know. And so now you have to almost look at, well, okay, then out of all the violent crime that black people commit, what is the racial breakdown? And you'll find that a lot of it is really just based off of long-standing, not just proximity by itself, but proximity in association with shit like, perhaps family disputes, gang disputes, things that happen, crimes of passion, that are relative to their environment. So when you see, if you're in bumblefuck nowhere and you see like a random black person and you start saying, oh my God, look at this as a per capita just walked into our store, and you just start fucking like having a meltdown. I mean, that is kind of like, that might be, maybe that woke right element that someone had brought, I think that came earlier. We just started becoming a motherfucking like full blown, I don't know. You just started becoming a fucking panicky freak, who you all of a sudden you don't want to go outside and shit. So, yeah, that's all. Are we having a queue or is this over?
No, I think it's over.
Are we trying to figure out what you just?
Okay, well then we probably want to go. Well, I'll just say that King, you've talked to Enoch before.
Yeah, so Enoch and
I knew
myself,
he was gonna do that.
along with Dewey. Oh my God, Harvey, you have something else you want to speak on?
Harper just wants to.
No. I just knew that he was gonna pass the buck and he was gonna do like the game show.
Nobody even
game
talking
show.
to me. Who's cold?
I think he was gonna do the game show, like, Price is Right sort of thing, and just bring it on down.
Okay,
To
you're
the
gonna.
right.
You're literally just talking and concrete's clapping.
Shut the fuck
Anyway,
up, you racist piece of shit.
All right, be quiet.
Whoa.
You called me. Paul, you use the N word like all the time.
We gotta do a small room one day with just Angela, freaking what's your name now, Harper. We gotta do this someday. Because I've heard you guys bicker back and forth for like over a year now.
Oh yeah, but anyway, but King,
I
I
don't understand. That's the
all right,
problem.
Harper.
I'm not understanding.
Harper, can you just?
But King, you talked to Enoch. Did you guys talk about theism?
Harper, can you just celebrate whiteness, please?
Yeah. White. All right.
Okay, please do. Yeah. So we didn't. So I don't remember us talking on any issue with God, but the way that he operates under the conversation that had to do with China, America, business, population, I wasn't very impressed. Now, Dewey can back me up because Dewey participated in the conversation too. I'm not saying Enoch is not. I'm clear that the guy is smart, but I think he sort of like uses his showmanship, which is a good quality to have. He uses that as a way to sort of, cover up the fact that he didn't know a lot of things. Like, for instance, the population collapse that's coming to China. There was a lot of things that he wasn't familiar with, but his showmanship got him places, so I'll give him that.
Wait until he employs his showmanship in theism. The argument you won't know.
And again, the guy's clearly smart, but again, I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you're gonna have a conversation, then you're gonna do the whole confidence thing, then at least know what you're talking about. So
well, he said
no.
He said
concrete. I'm gonna be honest. So
he said atheism is manifestly true.
Yeah, I'd love to see him substantiate. Yo, you saying he got exposed?
Manifestly, do you consider so if you say, for example, that the concept of God, like just merely trying to conceptualize God is a manifest falsity, I think that might be a better way to frame.
What do you mean by manifest falsity? What is that?
Well, essentially, it's inherently false and self-evidently false because it's inconclusive.
Yeah, that's just not true.
From out the gate, like when you try to define God and try to take on the approach of saying, hey, this is God and this is the God that I believe in.
Let him finish, Solomon. We gotta hear him out.
Please, not please. I mean, what did you say, manifest falsity?
Yeah.
Right, so manifest falsity and the way you define it would, that would, relate to something like there are no elephants in, serving in the White House or serving in Congress, right? That's manifest, the words you use could apply to something like that. But how
it always have to be physical or
because I can prove inherently that most people believe, or it is actually true, that there are no elephants serving in Congress.
Has anyone ever proven that? That's as far as evidence.
You said has anyone ever
there are no elephants in the White House?
Has anyone ever proven that?
You meant that physically, right? Like there are no elephants physically in the White House.
How else would I mean that?
So has anyone ever proven that?
Yes, sir. Yes, there are no elephants currently serving.
Serving the title of it, right? Okay. So as far as
so you can prove a negative. So I'm trying to see how you use that word combination to prove God doesn't exist. So.
Well, it's not a one-to-one comparison though. Your example is not going to be.
It is, sir. I proved the negative. You can prove a negative, so I'm trying to see how you're proving God doesn't exist beyond using, the combination of those two words.
Well, but you're not you can't just hold those two words exclusively to the way that you.
No, you
apply
gave
it.
the definition. Now,
Yeah.
how does that correlate?
Well, a
to
manifest
God not
falsity doesn't
existing?
need to be something like, hey, okay, there are this many, jobs that are, in the executive branch, and no elephants serve in them. You can. It's like, okay, that's not the only way to say
saying
this is
exactly.
manifest falsity.
So,
You know what I mean?
Enoch, how again? How have you proven? Just like I already checked over. That's why I told you.
Over
So,
who?
how have you proven, Enoch, that God does? You see how I just proved elephants don't serve in Congress? That negative, I just proved that. So, in the same way, show me God doesn't exist.
So let me tell you this, right? First of all, because I reject the premise that you're starting with as it is. And here's why. Because the premise that you're trying to start with and trying to get me to walk down is not the full breadth of what we're going on. The fact is, when it comes to the concept of God, God has
manifest falsity.
Yes.
You said that. I didn't say that. I'm telling you the substantial.
And then you gave an example.
Come on, King. Let him finish. Let him finish, King.
Well, yeah, multiple
Right,
people.
you just
So
wanted to ramble,
there's like desperation.
No.
That sounds like desperation. Because So when you say that there's a manifest falsity, there's an honest assessment that comes from saying, hey, okay, this is literally something that is either unfalsifiable. This is something that you literally cannot. How do I put this? Not just unfalsifiable, right? But it's unfalsifiable, and it's also, for lack of a better word, it's also something that you can infinitely shift the goalposts of. So, for example, when it comes to God, you assign yourself authority, and this is my premise in general. You assign yourself a lot of authority when you start to define God and say you believe in it. When you say I believe in God and what God is a singular entity who is the creator of the universe and is the intentional governor of all things within the universe. Just by saying that, you make multiple assumptions that go without completely any substance. You are already saying, okay, this entity is a singular entity. This entity is willfully governing the universe. This entity does not have any help. It's not. You're not a polytheist. You're making a lot of assumptions based off of the definition itself. The definition is already relying on the inherent belief. It's almost like you're asserting God by defining it, and that in and of itself is a major flaw. Like it's a structural flaw in the rationale to say, hey, God is
asserting God by defining Him is a flaw.
Your assertion of so by
No, he's saying you're asserting superiority.
Asserting God by defining Him.
No, stop. He's saying that you're asserting superiority when you say that I believe in God.
Get out of it. Let them talk the one-on-one. No one needs. Let him explain what he's trying to say.
Explain that to me. Asserting God by defining Him is a flaw.
It's a flaw because the terms that you're using in order to lay out your definition of God, it's an assertion. If you just make an assertion and there's no substantiating those terms that you're using to make that assertion, then you have a structural design. Now you have multiple points to prove before you even get past the conversation of saying, hey, this entity is real. You have to prove that the God of the Bible is not more or less real than the polytheistic Egyptian lore.
So that's it.
Let them do it.
That's literally it. When you say God He is a entity that created the known universe. Nobody says God is a singular entity.
Yeah, nobody says that. So whenever we have this conversation, this is why I need to focus you because you're all over the place. So if someone gives you a definition that corresponds with reality, what about that type of definition? Not a straw man like you just tried to do, but an actual textbook definition that theists have used for thousands of years to make these arguments. What about that definition?
Give an example.
No. Don't try to shift the burden, because what I'm still trying to say to you made the statement that manifests falsity, that God doesn't exist by that. So I'm still waiting for that.
So again, right, when you try to define God, every single iteration of God that's well known, even the polytheistic deities, you have to, in order to believe in them, you have to first make assertions within your definition based off of stuff that have no credible evidence. You have to, when you say, okay, I believe in the Egyptian pantheon. All right, well, that means that you believe that that Ra and you know, just a bunch of these other deities are basically more real and are as involved in the creation of the universe collectively, and you're making that assumption, you're making that assertion, and that comes in a direct conflict with the belief in a singular God, one-track intentional creator to the universe. Now you go into the other continual qualities. Okay, well, now they're also continually involved in the process of the universe. Some theists believe, some theists are deists. Some deists, they'll say, well, God creates the universe, but, it might not regard the universe, and it's not an active governor over the universe. Just in definition, you have to break down the actual definition. If you give one sentence and say, hey, this is God, the words that you use within that sentence, which is what I keep trying to get people to understand, the words that you use within that sentence are assertions. They are assertions that do not come with self-evident truth. They actually come in the absence of truth. They come in the absence of evidence, of credible evidence. The closest thing that we have is, as a reference, is going to be basically the religious text of the carried down lore that introduced the person trying to define God to that concept of God in the first place. The problem with that is that I can do that for Harry Potter. The problem with that is I can do that for any other deity that I wanted to in a book that inspired me.
Yeah, so Enoch, I want to be very clear. So what I'm hearing from you is you're using references like the Egyptian pantheon, Harry Potter, and all of these other fictional texts to essentially say that there is no possible way that God exists.
So again, what I'm saying is that the definition,
those are the things you brought up. You used the word manifest falsity.
It's a reductive.
And you're using Egyptian pantheon, you used Harry Potter, and some other things in the word salad to essentially present as evidence that there is no possible way God exists.
How did I use those words? Did I just randomly name drop them?
Those were your references.
How did I use them though? What was the purpose of
use manifest falsity?
Can you see why I brought them up?
Use those two words as a way of saying that you can prove God doesn't exist. And so when I asked you to substantiate that, you brought up the Egyptian pantheon, you brought up Harry Potter, and a number of other fictional texts as your reference for that proof.
You got blindsided.
I want to be very clear about that.
You got blindsided by the names that were referenced, and then completely lost the logical track of what I'm bringing up. I'm mentioning the Egyptian pantheon because they're a very famous example of polytheism. But when you say God is, hey, this is God. He is the divine creator of the universe, and most of them usually say that it's a loving and well-wishing entity that governs over all actions within the universe. You got to start with each word that I just used. He is, boom, okay. That comes in a direct contrast with different pantheons that say, no, it's never been he. It's actually been multiple creators of the universe. It's actually been a demiurge. It's actually been this and that and the third. And that right there is like, okay, now how do you actually substantiate your claim of the singular God versus another claim from another belief system that once ruled the world that said, hey, there were like 5 or 6 gods, or there were like a Mount Olympus of gods? How do you say that your claim is more concrete than theirs towards that singularity of a divine being?
Yeah, that's simple, because our claims and our beliefs correspond much more with reality as it's been given.
How so?
Yeah, there's a number of ways. One would be obviously the life, death, and resurrection of Christ. But outside of that, you could also use some of the classical arguments around the kalam, right? The teleological, the moral arguments, the transcendental.
But you're summarizing there. But you brought up the
I'm giving you ways. I'm giving you ways I could substantiate that.
Well, actually, you're referencing.
I'm pretty sure you've heard these arguments before. But again, don't try to get away from it. Have you substantiated how you've proven God doesn't exist?
And that's been my point.
You made the claim of manifest falsity, that there's a manifest falsity in the nature of God's existence, meaning I can show you God doesn't exist.
But there's an absence of credible evidence when you bring up those examples. You didn't actually use any of them as credible
because
evidence.
This is on your claim. This is not mine. You're trying to shift the burden. I'm trying to see how you're showing that God doesn't exist.
The burden of a concept of something is within the definition of that concept as it pertains to observable reality. You're the one who claimed that observable reality dictates that there would be a monotheistic deity that runs.
I never said any of that. I never said any of that, sir. I never said again. I never said any of that.
So why did you bring up the life? What did you say for life, death, and rebirth of Christianity of Jesus Christ?
For the audience, this man has yet to substantiate that manifest falsity in the context of those two words, that God does not exist.
I did. Manifest falsity.
And how? Okay, so you're saying you did. So watch this closely.
Go ahead.
What was your evidence that God in a manifest falsified way doesn't exist? What was your evidence?
The necessity of the definition of the concept that you are trying to say exists, right? Okay, God doesn't exist. Let's go back to your reference. There are no elephants that serve in the White House at this time. And maybe I'll shift it a little bit, right? I'll say no, I don't have to. No, you can hear this, and you'll like this. There are no elephants literally physically in the White House at this time. There's no elephants. Now, that's probably true, right? But can you prove it?
No.
Someone can go through the entire White House
my example. I know I used my example, so you couldn't do what you just did.
So here's the problem, right?
So stop playing games, sir. Here's the reason why I said there are no elephants serving in the U.S. Congress.
I know why you said that.
Or serving in the White House.
Because it was deceptive.
We can prove that. We can absolutely prove that.
Because who serves in the White House?
Prove that. So what I need you to do is absolutely prove that God doesn't exist.
You've played fully into my hand by using that reference, and you tried to be deceptive, and it ended up working against you. Because when you say elephants, there are no elephants that are serving in a position at the White House. You are taking tangible, repeatable qualities such as the list of jobs that are in the White House, the list of roles that are laid out and defined at the beginning of a presidency, and the human beings that are meant to fulfill that role. When it comes to the concept of God, you have the privilege, if you're going to maintain the concept of God, you have the privilege, and most God believers abuse the privilege of the gaps that they are provided. They are able to say, we can't see God, and he's not here, but he's within every atom within us, and you can't see those either. You're able to shift perpetually and provide no repeatable, measurable basis to the claim of its physical existence. So your example, and you trying to bring elephants serving in the White House. Maybe it's because you're like half listening, but again, you brought up an example of jobs that are in the White House, like the executive branch.
I didn't, sir.
Positions that are in the
very clear. There are no elephants. You see how I made a positive claim for a negative thing. There are no elephants serving in the United States Congress. That is a provable claim. It's provable.
That is as provable as me saying there is no God.
You have evidence that God does not exist.
You have literally given me the same thing. That's like me saying there is no God.
Whatever you use, manifest, falsify, like it's some fucking fancy term, right? Some fucking fancy hotep shit.
So what is it?
So show me, substantiate that shit.
What is an elephant?
You've yet to substantiate it.
What is an elephant?
You brought up the Egyptian pantheon, you brought up Harry Potter, you brought up a couple of other fictional things. But I have yet to see how that substantiates that God doesn't. That's evidence that God doesn't exist. That's retarded.
What is an elephant?
I'm trying to be cool. But Andrew,
that's okay. What is an elephant? What is an elephant?
It's an animal, sir.
Actually down 25 points right now.
You said how do I know that an elephant is an animal?
How do you know an elephant exists?
How do I know? What do you mean? How do I know an elephant exists? What type of evidence would you need that an elephant exists? Do you need me to have a picture of an elephant?
With respect to yours, but also the listeners' intelligence, right? We can say that elephants.
This is bad, Enoch. This is really bad, bro.
Andrew, what it sounds like, he's simply making a case that you can't discover truth because all you have is comparison between models. He's not really making a case for like the non-existence.
No, that's not true. I'm going by the example he gave. So he gave that example. There are no elephants sitting in a position in the White House. So I'm asking you, what is an elephant? Now we all have seen elephants. We've seen them. We know somebody who's probably been in the same vicinity as one. Elephants are real. They're real, tangible things. You can count the number of elephants in a given place at a given time.
Okay.
That is already like dramatically different from you saying from the statement that there is a God. I can say there is no God in the universe. I got you. I can say that there is no God in the. I can say that there is no God in the universe.
No, you can't.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because that's an argument for that's a straight up argument for ignorance.
If you've never seen an elephant before in your life, and nobody else that you've ever met has ever seen an elephant in your life.
Do you realize the common denominator in every room are the atheists? The atheists actually are disagreeing with you. Like you're like the denominator.
There's people who agree with me too. The usual suspects will.
Enoch, look at the chat. There's no one that agrees with you.
Enoch, how long have you been an atheist, Enoch?
I'm not looking at the chat.
Let's make it a teacher moment. Can we make it a teacher moment?
That's right. We don't need to. We don't need to because you're trying to you're shifting the conversation, right? You're trying to talk about something else.
Just listen.
Yeah, can we make it a teacher moment?
Please, sir. You're essentially making an argument from ignorance. Angelica's correctly pointed that out. Because, and respectfully, this is the logical conclusion when dealing with this, like going down the road at this path. You essentially start to deny anything has meaning or definition.
That's not what I'm doing.
Because
you're cutting me off before, then you're saying that's what I'm doing.
You're trying to establish that there's no way to know for certain that an elephant is what it is.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
Yes, it is.
No.
You guys are asking. I just told you that elephants exist. We all know that they exist. So y'all didn't hear me. You didn't hear the words.
I'll explain to you. So King, what he's saying is, when he said that he can prove that God doesn't, or he can't prove a negative, and you said, I can show that there's no elephants currently in Congress. He's trying to say that this isn't a defeated for his position because an elephant is like a material thing. That's why he's saying, what is an elephant, right? So since he's saying that there's a difference between a God, an immaterial thing, and our civilization, and an elephant, a material thing, this isn't a defeated for what he's saying. That's what
He still has to show, that it's impossible for God to be immaterial. That it's impossible for God to be made up of a substance that's different from both immaterial and material. How would you show that is the case? You're making a claim that you can prove something doesn't exist. Yes, you do.
Hold on. I think one easy way to get to it is just to say that he was making an absolute statement. You can't prove a negative, and that absolute statement is undermined by this particular instance. So therefore, he's wrong. No, just that's it. Any other way is like,
the problem is you're what if God is not material? Well, fuck. How about this? Let's continue to shift it.
Told me to have this conversation with him, right? So that's the first problem. Especially when he said the word manifest. I want to see what his tactic was going to be. Someone like this needs to see how ridiculous it sounds.
You brought up a bad premise to try to make it big, and now someone else can explain it to you because you didn't do that. needed someone else.
Analogy works.
His analogy didn't work. Here's the point.
Certainly we can find common ground with statements.
So
He's never going to learn if he doesn't actually
Surely
see
we
how
can
bad
find
this is.
common ground that statements
Robert,
like
that's
this
the
are
example.
negative.
Right. 1955 in Chicago, Illinois. He's like,
no, because I proved myself right, and he's just reiterating what I was saying.
1955 in Chicago,
He's reiterating what I was saying. He was somebody who was actively listening, and you were actively interrupting. That's all you were doing. And so you're playing this.
what you said was ridiculous. Argue like it's coherent.
It's just words, like you're just saying it's ridiculous. Okay, let's get back to the actual logic, right? The actual logic is that now here's the point. You're already saying, okay, well, God would be an immaterial entity. It would be immaterial. Okay, that is already a shift of the goalpost.
Yo, can you hold on a second? What did you want to say?
Not if you shift the goalpost enough and refuse to.
No, not like in principle, it is possible to prove a negative, right?
Yeah, if you're honest, but if you refuse to concede to the negative and the lack of evidence for the existence.
Claims like there is no blank are in principle provable, right?
As long as you're honest about it. So, because there's always a way, especially when you make an entity immaterial.
Well, there's not always a way, but those types of claims aren't principally unprovable.
For example, okay, there's no elephants that are serving a job in the White House or in the executive branch. Well, what if there's a secret job? What if it's like on the secret? What if it's on the secret menu? What if it's on the secret menu of jobs? What if it's like an elephant that's honorary assigned to the Secret Service? That doesn't make any sense. That's what the line of thinking of God is. I'm using your
Is the sorrow unexpressed that shadows those ecstatic lids?
It's nighttime.
The style garter with sadness closes in between your eyes and lights dim in the house.
And so you
Before
say to
our
yourself,
plans have
there's
come.
somebody home, right? Because the lights are on. But sometimes the lights can be on and there's nobody home. Did y'all know that?
That's true.
Nobody got it? The lights are on, but there's nobody home. There you go. That's it.
It's like, what is that actually the concept of simple example? We can, like, imagine I said, there is no Coke can in the small little box. You can open it and prove that, right?
Yep. Unless you say it's a metaphysical, invisible, transcendental Coke. Which is what I'm saying with these systems like So if somebody says, hey, that's a metaphysical, transcendent Coke can, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it's there, I promise. Now, what do you say to that person that says that? He's saying, okay, if you have an empty Coca-Cola box, then you can say that there are no Coke cans in this box. So if someone responds to you and says, hey, there's an invisible, metaphysical, immaterial Coke can in this box, I promise you, that's a contradiction in terms. What do you say?
All we're saying now is that if you set up a question in such a way that the thing that you're trying to prove cannot be proven, then you can't prove a negative. I mean, I agree, but that's really uninteresting.
That's my point. You just created a contradiction in terms. You're using terms that don't actually correspond to reality. Right? You're essentially describing a square circle.
Right. That's not what
That's what you just did.
You're literally agreeing with me.
Yeah, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it. You're a straw man. You're a straw man.
You're agreeing with me. Okay, so if I say that there is a
Do you know what a straw man is? Do you know what a straw man is?
Sorry.
Okay, so do you understand you just said that?
Are you saying
You're using the definition. You're using analogy. You're using an analogy. As if you are analogy to argue about God.
That's not your argument. I brought that. I introduced the invisible can.
No, this particular conception, that these conceptions of God cannot be disproven? Is that your
No, I'm agreeing with what you said, Bob. You said if you show me a box that's a box of Coke cans and it's empty, then you can reliably say that there are no Coke cans in this box. And what a lot of the God believers do is they take that exact same box and they say, well, there's actually like an invisible spirit. So no, we got it. We're not going to check it. You don't? Oh, you don't?
Do you think that that is an unprovable claim?
That's a claim that's not sound to begin with, because if you don't unless you provide anything that even remotely supports that, go ahead.
If someone says there is a spiritual, ethereal ghost can in this box, there is no such can in this box. Do you think that is an unprovable claim?
I mean, it's manifest falsity. Because like they've decided that it's a spirit. Like again, until there's a
Stop trying to think ahead like 4 steps where you think this argument is going to go and just answer the question.
I'm with you. That's
so if someone says there is no someone says there is no spiritual Coke can in this box, do you think that that is an unprovable claim?
Okay, someone says that the box is empty, there are no Coke cans in there. Is that unprovable? Is that your question?
No, maybe. Someone says this following statement: there is no ethereal, invisible Coke can in this box. Do you think that statement is an unprovable claim?
I think it's like
there's some. Do you think that is a provable? There's someone that just came in the room who I've been seeing a long time. Donald C. Do you think that that is an unprovable claim?
Donald is that guy. So, just think that happy
to functionally interface with reality. To functionally interface with reality, you have to reject certain testimonies and certain, premises from the lack of standing that come with them. That's just exactly what that invisible Coke can is. It's a lack of.
You're still not understanding. You're still not getting. You're still not given sufficient, or really any evidence that you've proven God doesn't exist. None of these things you're bringing up prove that God doesn't exist. You're just proving that some people might be illogical, or that some people might believe in things that are untrue or not good arguments. But that is not proof for God's non-existence.
So, and I'll frame it exactly the way I did the last time that I spoke on this topic, which is by saying what God is, by giving a definition.
Also, you know,
just like when you hear me out, right? So say I'm a Christian or whatever, right? I'll say that God is. What is God? He is the intentional creator of the entire universe, who has no beginning and end, has a general, well wishes for its creations, and is the active governor over all things within the universe. That's like something that I think a lot of people, know the reality is. So if I say that, what we have to now do is look at the terms that I used just now to define God and say, okay, any of these terms, does it correspond with reality? Sure. So now your kind of contention is, well, you still haven't proven it false. But the problem,
history, cocaine, Republican history.
And I'm waiting for you to give us
So it's fair to say that we have. So the thing is, when you look at that example of the so-called Coke box, for example, right? Yeah. It's something that's like in front of you for the universe itself is something that it's fair to say that we all, none of us have seen the
Those
entire
Republicans.
So we have to because we have to glean the structure of the universe and the structure of reality, and we have to design. I got you. We have to determine, okay, based off of what we have been able to observe at the
That's the three dead to none.
even the known universe, we have to
Dead to none.
what have been the consistent properties that make up the universe as we know it, as reality as we know it. And all of the properties that make up everything from even what forms the Big Bang Theory to when we look at so we don't, right? But we have to go by what we do access to that further span. But here's the thing, we have to go by what we have access to the further span. Because again, right, if we go far enough out into the universe past what we can observe, then we can create anything into existence. So we already know what has been considered. No, I'm talking about like you can assume that anything is past the observable universe. You can say, hey, there's a universe outside of the observable universe.
I just understood that download should be speaking. I don't want to let them
I'm not going to drag this out, but I'm saying is this. In order to have a functional world, in order to even just have like advents for technology that we use every day, to medicine, to everything that makes life fucking worth it, compared to you can prove a negative by making observations of the universe as far as we have the capacity to observe the universe. And if there's something that is not look, I'm pointing out the negative right now. Yeah, but you see, you can repeat like terms and then you can like elect your argument to the nation of the Egyptian pantheon. You mentioned Harry Potter and the Egyptian pantheon. That disproves God.
And you're claiming, Enoch, that you know definitively that God is there.
Schrodinger's cat here, like the cat is dead. We'll
Like in a religious sense?
Yes. Yes. Highly yes, no.
Hey, Nick!
King and Arnold. I'm very, very interested in that plot.
Hey, Nick! It's me, Cindy Stumpo. I'm at a work construction site. I'm looking at over 50 workers. I don't know how many of them are Mexican or illegal. Doesn't matter to me. I'm building houses, Nick. The name is Cindy Stumpo. Here's my business card. Let me know if you want to invest. I got a great new startup for you. It's a technology app. It's information technology. It's gonna be one of the biggest apps of the world. Cindy Stumpo knows. Just give me your money. And I'm gonna go build another 100 houses with another 1,000 Mexicans. I'm Cindy Stumpo. Nobody fucks with me. I build houses all over the fucking place. I got thousands of fucking workers. I'm worth $400 fucking million. Do you know Grant Cardone? Do you even know who the fuck I fuck with? I'm Cindy Stumpo, motherfuckers. Do you know Grant Cardone and Nelson Napega and Jonathan Bing? The Jonathan Bing. I'm fucking Cindy Stumpo, bitch. I run this town. Don't forget it. Here's my business card, Cindy Stumpo. Is this Cindy Stumpo, you motherfucker? Don't you tell me who the fuck can work at my fucking construction site. So you say he doesn't have his fucking papers? Here's my fucking business card, Cindy Stumpo. You can call my attorney.
I wouldn't do that if it wasn't for you, Nick, but that shit is funny, isn't it? It's really funny. So I'm live streaming this on a whole bunch of different platforms. I'm about to record some poetry, some powerful magic hypnosis. And I've been playing music now on YouTube and on Clubhouse and creating music content, and it's going pretty good. You know why, Nick? Because I put on a Pepe mask with a Trump hat, and the videos are going viral. And I'm calling myself Mr. Iran Tehran, and I'm basically pulling like a Borat, and I'm pretending to be like an Iranian. You know, everybody. I don't know if you know this, Nick, but when I was in the 7th grade, I was the president of the United States of America in the play called Annie. I was Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the 7th grade. And isn't that kind of crazy? Because I beat out 8th graders for the role as the president, and it was because of my audition. It was because I practiced. I practiced the scenes, and I improv'd as well because, you know, things were nothing big, but I had to sing a song. I sang Tomorrow. FDR sings Tomorrow in Annie. That was my song. Tomorrow, tomorrow. I was so fucking nervous. I was like, how is this even possible that I can sing this song? But, you know, when you're a young prepubescent kid, anybody can sing a song because it's just kids singing, you know? It's like, it's not opera. It's fucking kids singing, and, you know, it's hypnotizing. So I was an early hypnotist in the 7th grade. Our English is, our music teacher's name was Dr. King Cohen. I don't know why the fuck he had the doctor title, but he was teaching music in the 8th grade, and he was a doctor. And he wore a toupee, and he looked like he was about to pop. And he really did know music, though. He was like a real conductor. It was kind of amazing. Some people really know music, because it's technical. But not me. I fucking build. I've been building houses for 55 fucking years. And this is Cindy Stumpo. Here's my fucking business card. I got an app for you I want you to look at. I want you to invest in this young kid's app. He's an up-and-comer. Let's be honest. He's a fucking up-and-comer, this Nelson Apega kid. I showed him how to lie on a mortgage application 10 fucking years ago. This kid has taken out $55 fucking million in mortgage loans because of me, Cindy Stumpo. You don't have to be honest when you file. You gotta be honest when you gotta settle. Let's be honest, It all comes down, because once you got the fucking money, then the lawyers and the banks, and I'm fucking Cindy Stumpo. I got 5,000 fucking workers at 35 construction sites. We're competing with the biggest home builders in America. Hortons. Home builders. Talk to Grant Cardone. He knows how much stress there is in building fucking homes. When you gotta deal with the subcontractors, the general contractors, the managing brokers, and the fucking real estate agents. I fucking hate them all. My name is Cindy Stumpo. I basically created the home builder model. I'm an early innovator. Not many people know this. Grant knows this story, but I only told Grant this because I tell the young kids good things so they can follow in my fucking footsteps. And that's why I told all my friends to invest in Nelson Apega's incredible chatter app, because Jonathan Bingham, he fucking rebroadcast chatter into fucking Clubhouse. And nobody even uses fucking Clubhouse anymore. There's no fucking party hats. But you go to Chatter, there's a lot of fucking party hats. So what does that tell you? That means people, you're going to want to invest in this Chatter app. Let me refer you to my friend Jonathan Bingham. He's got all the details, and he'll give you the invested perspective. You'll have to sign a non-disclosure. Also, of course, we'll have to qualify you as a registered investor. So, if you don't have a minimum of $250,000 liquid capital, we're not going to be able to work with you. I can show you my portfolio, you can show me yours, but mine is bigger than yours, so let's be honest. I'm Cindy fucking Stumpo. I got 3,500 fucking Mexicans working right now, and Trump is busting my fucking balls, but let's be honest, I'm happy he's kicking them out. In fact, I fucking doxed all of them with fucking ice. With his fucking ice. I told them exactly where they were. ICE agents came and picked them up. I said, don't anybody say nothing, or you ain't gonna get your pay this Friday. That's what I told all my fucking workers. I'm fucking Cindy Stumpo, and here's my business card. This is like my Tim Dillon impersonation of Cindy Stumpo. That would be a funny video, right? Yeah. This is why, like, doing these performances and not filming them are, it's the definition of insanity to, like, not record this stuff. It just takes too much energy to do these Cindy Stumpo impersonations. It's probably I think it's one of my funny impersonations, the Cindy Stumpo impersonation. Stumpo, what a fucking name, Stump. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Americans are amazing. Because it is like a question of willpower in so many ways. Because it's a lot of it is performative because there's people who really do the work, and then there's people who just like do this management, supervision. So if you can fake it till you make it, I mean, the thing is, I just can't even imagine Grant Cardone worrying about a tenant, who caused some property destruction in one of his 800,000 apartment unit complexes. I mean, it's like, dude, at the end of the day, you're a fucking investor at some point. I mean, if you have a portfolio of 100,000 apartments, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I met somebody once in college. I was the president of the investment club, and he just came in. It was Nick. It was literally like our college alumni, Cindy Stumbo. He came in. He's like, "This is the equation, you fucking idiots. This is the fucking equation. And I used this fucking equation my whole life to acquire over 80,000 apartment complexes in the southeastern United States, you little fucks. You see this fucking equation? This is the fucking equation. I don't buy shit if this equation doesn't have this fucking number, motherfucker, or less." And I was like, So that's your whole presentation to us? Interesting. I still can't, I don't even know what that equation was, but obviously it was like a cost benefits analysis equation. I mean, okay, now you get the ratio. It's like, there's so many other components. He was a cool guy though. I mean, all business. Yeah, I saw Tim Dillon here in Chicago at Rivers Casino. They took this really hot chick. I don't think she was impressed because after she gave me a kiss at the end of the night, I was like, my grandmother kisses better than you. But yeah, Tim Dillon was very funny. Very, very funny. I recorded it. I think I put it on Clubhouse when I was listening to it, but neither here nor there. He is one fat piece of shit. And I should go to the gym and not be a fat piece of shit. But, what's cool about Clown House now is if you get kicked from a room, it automatically bounces you to a new room. So that means it's like, I can walk away. I can walk away because of the preview function, and it'll just constantly play Clubhouse, which is exactly what I've always wanted. This is the world famous Prince. Palestinian terrorist pieces. Imagine. See, I just got kicked. Oh no, now I'm in the room. I didn't even touch the phone.
والله نزلتوه شنو؟ منزله
بطل تبغانا نسب البحرين نسب الكويت بس ما راح نسب
يا عم انت ليش؟
Guys, what is your mouth and you use the syntax to communicate a word that you don't create, you are communicating in a language.
What? Is a chihuahua a dog and our dogs canines and our canines
they've been breeding like humans for a long time, like especially in the slave times they were breeding the slaves and shit to make them more like stronger and bigger, Same thing as genetics. It's like when you do a hybrid with the marijuana, when you do two strains and you hybrid them together, we're messing with genetics.
Yeah, they took him out though. He good though. Ooh. Yeah.
Funny with the money, yo, you got me mistaken, honey. I don't want to rape you. I just want the paper, the visa, capisce. I'm out like the papers. Who the head honcho, slick like Rumacho, cool like Camacho.
Running for like senator in Mayor Chicago, shit like that. I'm scared to look at my foot. Literally on.
He's like, you're running for, what did he say? Something about the mayor of Chicago.
Tweet about.
All right, Nick, we in the spot.
After the rally,
we in the clip. We with Jonathan Bingham.
Tweeted the conference of
without Daphne. I would have got charged. But thank God Daphne was there to save me. I love you, Daphne. Welcome to the Delson Opega and the Cindy Stumpo Grand Cardone Marathon.
Yeah, so anyway, once again,
We are live streaming Chillism. AKA Chatter. Onto Clown House with Grant Cardone.
Ray didn't get the memo, and he came out here on his podcast, and he put out that I know he likes it. So now, in the coming weeks, he'll soon be walking back, and he'll tell you how much he hates
This room is called First American Pope is Chosen. Trump appoints Puro. Debate the news.
With that being said, no, guys.
Is this the definition of brain rot? Because that's like the point. Is to like record brain rot. I think this app is just full of it. It's literally, I think, low IQ people repeating themselves. And
absolutely, I'm here.
you can definitely tell people don't read books here because they're just repeating themselves all the time. I mean, it's like that guy King in Chillism. I think we're like dealing with people that are living in like assisted living facilities or something, like Down syndrome facilities throughout the country. There's got to be like, think about how many people work in special education and like work with Down syndrome people and autistic children. I think that's who is like using this app because clearly none of them work. I mean, I don't work, but like none of these people work. So like, are they living in Down syndrome facilities? Like, who are these people?
I think that Francis was pretty progressive. There are a few others that I do know of, so I'm not exactly sure, but I still think
what do these people really do? I just wish there was like more profile index data about every person, who they are, where they live, what their net assets, like what their
I think that this is the way
their total net worth
is giving a middle finger
what kind of car they drive.
what is
like,
happening in American politics.
that's the cool thing about data
is,
you know, if like you were really examining someone's personal tax returns.
We're going to pick a person.
That's like the most intimate thing. And the craziest thing about a tax return is it's all subjective.
So a couple of things
and people just run a risk when they file. I mean, you know, especially if you're doing that Section C. I mean, it's like you never see it in the news, but there's a lot of people that lie on their tax returns and take huge deductions and like pay no taxes. And supposedly they're raising the tax rate. I saw like at 5% or something.
Also on
and it all just goes to a fucking warehouse in an underground fucking cave in the caves.
He had
just like all the federal employee jackets that sit in that fucking non-indigenous thing. Anyway.
Racial justice, particularly after the murder of George Floyd. I mean, he is. And
I wish I had my bell.
Out against J.D. Vance. And the mass deportation policies, and then Vance's attempts to use Catholic doctrine to justify them. So I think that this is not a good thing for MAGA. I think this.
You can imagine it. It's not there.
How far away is it?
This is coexistence ODD step B with abnormal and hairball size.
Mils, I don't know if you guys are familiar with mils. They're even smaller than a millimeter.
Yeah, it's 1/100th of a millimeter.
Nick, if you didn't come in here, I probably would have been reading a book already.
Engineering and metalwork, yeah.
But the Cindy Stumpo thing is just too tempting.
Management is your choice. Oh, fantastic. That'll solve everything.
But I would only do it for you because you're the only person who says, hey, Edmund, do the Cindy Stumpo impersonation. You're the only one. So it's like, clearly my comedy's not taking off, right? If you're the only person asking to hear Cindy Stumpo, like, I don't have an audience. Like, Tim Dillon's got an audience. I got no audience.
You know, that's America, I believe. I thought it was Cindy Cobb. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you might be.
I think we're in Berkeley territory.
Okay.
You ever seen a Muslim fashion show? Me neither, but I imagine it looks like a whole bunch of black bed sheets walking around the stage.
They're like
yeah, there's other colors.
Cerulean or purple or
There must be other colors.
Yeah. Just a splash of
like
color.
Versace hijab.
Exactly. Like I had
Gucci
somebody
hijab.
going. I said Tom Ford was doing
burqa line in for fall 25. Somebody was like, really? Like, yeah. Matching shoes too. You just can't see them.
What's up, everyone?
Did you see the what is it? The Met Gala with the Hindu guys dressed like
that was very disappointing.
Indian
that guy.
Rajas or whatever.
It's just I feel like mainstream Muslims.
What was disappointing, me or him?
Him.
Oh, I thought I took care of him, but it was just like and he's an American.
You should have heard this guy. He goes by the doctor, the bad doctor, not the doctor responsible. He's the doctor irresponsible.
Yeah, I was holding court with Edward.
Edward is reasonable, and I think I like Edward, but he holds company with some unsavory characters.
It's your interview only.
She also says unsavory.
Yeah, he's become a little more radical.
That's the nature of the beast, I believe.
Edward is sometimes reasonable, but unfortunately, there is really no reasonable in this matter. If he wants to state he's the only one who wants to state, frankly, he's a blind guy from Connecticut.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, it means everything to me.
He still wants it.
What means everything to me is him and the doctor are both Americans, and they have these ideals. To me, that's the most upsetting, that they're American.
Well, their attachment to American ideals is a little bit tenuous. And they're also in denial about
Well, no, they'll embrace the American ideals to criticize Jews or Israel, but then, of course, they don't believe in American ideals when it comes to their own doctrines and beliefs. And that's the dichotomy. They're living in two different worlds simultaneously, I think.
Isn't that the playbook?
Yeah.
Can I just remind you that this is Clown House, and you'll meet all kinds of people who just, project all the time, and you shouldn't take it literally. It's just, maybe it's like a blind guy or somebody at a Down syndrome facility. You don't even know their back end,
No, but I think we should take it literally. I think that is the reality, unfortunately.
It's not. No way.
Maybe you're just the clown.
No, I am a clown. I'm a comedian. I'm just saying that, this is... First of all, you have to understand that all these rooms are just entertainment rooms, and that when you listen to Edward, he's actually an entertainer. And every cynic, all of them, every single one of them, they're just entertainers, and they're just doing real politique. That's what it is.
Maybe you're just projecting, and you're the entertainer.
No, but my projection's accurate. If you can debate my accurate projection, debate my accurate projection.
Wait, what amount of income did you write from comedy this past year?
Ribbono Shalom, I got the Toyota. You think I'm worried about my adjusted gross income?
Well, to be a comedian, you have to be paid.
He's got the Ein Sof.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jacob's Ladder does have its profits, and the Ein Sof is, beautiful philosophy, and I pray that Ribbono Shalom sends me a great adjustment to my adjusted gross income. I've already visualized it.
Okay, Jakob, when you're just getting started, you don't tend to make money in most art forms.
Okay, how many comedy clubs have you played for free?
I've definitely created millions of views from Clown House over the past 4 years.
Billions of views.
And that is
Not billions, millions, not billions, millions of views.
Okay, what was the total amount that you've got from YouTube checks for impressions, ad impressions?
I've lost multiple accounts. I've gotten multiple copyright infringements, multiple privacy rights violations. I have had dozens of Clown House people complain against me. Ribbono Shalom, I've created a network of haters. I mean, I have a network of lovers, but I got a network of haters. That's okay. You can't create a network without some haters.
I think mass hypnosis will get his break. I think he's very talented.
That is one of his important phrases, mass hypnosis.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time till he gets his break.
I think he'll get his break too.
a super
Does anyone know
season.
anyone at Saturday Night Live? I heard him say that was his dream before. I think that's where he belongs.
I think he needs to focus on Second City. It's right in his town.
No, my father auditioned for Second City with Sweet Chuck from Police Academy. Sweet Chuck from Police Academy made it big. My dad became a real cop, and he was in the canning business. Puerto Ricans, Africans, Mexicans.
Did they rename Second City Third City?
Maybe in North Ave. No, I think he's gonna be. I think there's a lot of people looking for naked men in their 30s playing the bongos on their belly. But there's other stuff too. Yeah, but there's other entertaining things too. It's very entertaining.
Yes, yeah.
I think he is.
I call it self-actualization comedy.
Oh, wait, you're at the top of Maslow's hierarchy?
Oh, right. Self-actualization.
Yeah,
right
top
at
of the hierarchy.
to the top.
I'm an Einsoft self-deprecating comedian. I mean, Einsoft loves self-deprecation. It's a roast, and that's what I've realized what Clown House is. It is a roast show, and I have been filming it for many years. I would hope that Clown House is actually my biggest legacy, because I feel like this is like recording a television cast, and it's, I'm the only one doing it, and I think it's an interesting cast of characters.
You're right. Affiliation creates great holiness. If you read some stories of some like tzaddiks and rebbes, and I heard this one where this Rebbe comes to a town and he wants to go to this guy's house, and he goes to his closet, opens the closet, and in that closet he said something was very holy, and it was a costume that this yid was made to wear in an embarrassment, in the town, to embarrass him as a yid, and in his embarrassment created much holiness. So you have a good point there.
Norm, who are you talking to? I only see one half the conversation. No, I see.
Doge, I got a question. I do apologize for not being content for you for a little while now. But have any of those things actually gotten any interest? Any of the maybe season 1, 2, and 3 of Clubhouse, or no? It's new stuff. Doge, are you there? Or is the con blocking your hearing?
I think you might take up the most space on the internet. Anyone.
Well, the comedy is the secret, and just look at what's his face from Comedy Central News. What's that guy's name? Anyways, comedy allows you to be subversive in a way that there's like no other art form like comedy. But subversive in a good way, not a bad way.
You should definitely be doing improv. I think you'd be very good at improv. Do you engage in it at all?
I've done it, yeah. I did comedy classes at Second City here in Chicago.
So what have you not done?
I've never skydived. I've only bungee jumped. No, I didn't want it. I dropped out of the Air Force because I didn't think it was
I
top.
thought you were in the Army. I was just kind of joking with the fighter.
No, I changed from Air Force to Army, and then but I'll tell you the truth, the Air Force was the way to go. The Army is not the way to go.
People do that? You can switch services?
In college you can switch ROTC, yeah.
Okay.
Plus I flew a plane and I was like, man, it's fucking bumpy and this isn't very comfortable, It was one of those Cessna plane. I was like, man, I don't think I want to be a pilot.
It's so cool. I really want to be a pilot. SEALing. Don't want to be in the Navy. Don't want to be in a tank.
I love that. You wanted to be a pilot, but it was a bit too bumpy.
I'm serious. I flew a Cessna and it was not a pleasurable experience. It was very uncomfortable.
It gets better the faster you fly.
Did you hear what happened in New Jersey last week?
No. Oh yeah.
Traffic control
At
was
Newark,
down.
yeah, they lost radio contact for 36 seconds or something like that.
And they said like a bunch of people are out because of the trauma, like working there.
What do you mean a bunch of people are out? They quit?
Like they were like on leave from the trauma, like being there when that happened.
Some pilots are freaking out too. The Secretary of Transportation has just announced an overhaul of the air traffic control system today.
How does France justify bringing that Syrian jihadist Turkish-backed militant into Paris?
Kill thousands of Christians, right?
I mean, I saw videos of what they're doing to people, and it's so sickening because you realize it is an Islamic caliphate, and they're insane, and it's it's a war crime what they're doing to people. It's insane.
Wait, what is France doing? I missed
the Syrian militants, what they're doing to Christians.
No, I know that, but what did France do?
They brought in the guy, in a suit, and
Went to Paris?
yeah, justified him or gave him, backing essentially.
No, but he didn't leave the country. If he left the country, he'd lose his position.
No, he went to Paris to have a meeting with Macron.
Really? That's surprising.
I don't know. I mean, it's how does that guy have freedom of movement?
Look at Paris, though. They're in so deep.
That's why.
With that electorate, that group, they're in so deep, they're fucked.
Look, as long as Turkey backs him, he can do whatever he wants to. It's becoming Turkey South. Taking over the air bases. But they're in secret talks with Israel being what do you call it? The UAE is coordinating it. Security matters, in quotes. That's all they would say.
I don't know. I think coexistence to me is just another hypnosis word. You can go to the Baha'i Temple here in Chicago, and it's magnificent and beautiful and just stunning. And their whole thing is coexistence. So, I mean, I think if you want to have coexistence, it has to be like a science of religions, meaning you can't be all or nothing anything, and you should know a little bit of something about everything, or at least culture or psychology and people. And know that I've been to Jordan twice, and I've been in weird, very strange areas with what I would call.
Petra is not a strange area.
No, I'm talking like people's estates with like Egyptians and I don't even know. Anyways, I saw Palestinian like towns, cities in the distance where this Jordanian guy says, "You see that fucking city over there? That was a Palestinian encampment. Now it's a fucking village / like looking city almost, or town." So, I mean, when you're there, the Jordanians have a very different perspective. Like there's in group and out group, so it's super tribal, and then there's like a super tribe, and the expression is me and my cousin, or me and my brothers versus my cousins, me and my cousins versus the world. So, I don't know. It's like, to me, the whole thing is like machismo, essentially. People got these fucking big ideas, big ambitions, but, their town doesn't even have a fucking library.
El Normo, you there? Yeah. Did I miss anything exciting in the room earlier? I just came in like 10 minutes ago.
No. It gets interesting, then it gets quiet, then it gets interesting again.
Have you
you listened at all to Jonathan Pollard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking in Israel he would be an interesting character to meet or hear speak if he even does that.
I think he's doing the podcast.
Yeah, that's how I listened to him. But he's wicked smart. A bit controversial, but I still think so intelligent.
Very interesting.
What do you think? What do you think about
He has
Vindman?
the ear of a lot of leaders. He's got the ear of a lot of higher ups in Israel.
What do you think about Lieutenant Colonel Vindman?
What you said, Vindman?
Vindman, yeah, he's the one who said that Trump didn't have a perfect phone call or something with Ukraine, and he was on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah,
He's got a big social media following. You know, I mean,
oh, he's such a bitch.
He's a
Did
bitch.
You guys see him? Total bitch.
But
I knew it the second I saw him with those stupid glasses, his fat belly. I didn't think it was nice for him to say this. It wasn't a perfect phone call. Shut up, you little bitch.
I mean, what a bitch. I mean,
That was a very weird episode.
hundreds of thousands, million. You know,
Impeach Trump for, huh?
so strange.
It was such a thin case. And Vindman is a weird character. So was that other spy that got fired? She had an Irish accent or something. Remember that? There was a woman too. Yeah. Everyone was really upset. His brother as well. He has like a twin brother. Was he? Yeah, and they're both little deep state nerds. I mean, that's the only way I could describe them. Very mad because Chumpy Bear wasn't being nice in the Foreign Service. And the diplomats didn't like the way he talked to other leaders. Shut up. That's what this whole thing, that's what the whole thing that this second term is really about. Like, the reason Trump is being so aggressive right now and crazy, part of it is just that he's pissed off and he's crazy. But the other part of it is like, the entire government set out to work against him during the first term and not implement his policies, foreign policy, and domestic. So now he's just like, okay, I'm just going to fucking fire everyone. Okay, we're just going to do it this way. It's not let them get in the way. Right. And it's their own fault for angering. Like, I'm not saying just because it's Trump, but honestly, you work for the president. If you want to go up against that, Democrat, Republican, whatever the president is, that's fine. But you're going to have consequences, and that's what we're seeing right now, in my humble opinion.
You know what would be a very funny interview is somebody from the U.S. military that had a lot of experience with trans soldiers and the policies and the rules and the protocols and the whole experience of like trans soldiers in armed forces. It has got to be the like most bizarre, and I mean maybe that's crazy talk. But I don't know why I have any reason to believe Larry Silverstein or have any good faith in him.
Well, they said that wasn't the Pentagon being investigated for a lot of misappropriated funds.
Well, yeah, the Pentagon video is to me the big giveaway that was most likely a rocket and not a plane.
Well, no, and apparently the records that were being kept in the World Trade were associated with government funds.
Yeah, WTC-7, which is the third tower that fell on 9/11, housed Salomon Brothers, CIA, New York Emergency Response, and a whole slew of other government agencies. So it was like a federal building. And that one definitely fell from thermite detonation and controlled demolition. That's a fact. That thing didn't even get hit by a plane. It fell free fall. I mean, that's controlled demolition. So it's like that information's got to come out. I mean, because to me, that's most obvious crazy. It's not even a conspiracy theory. It's like that's unexplainable. Like that has to be.
Have you seen the video of the storage rooms that had all those? I don't know if it was some detonation material, some type of bomb type material. Apparently, trucks were coming in and out of the World Trade for like months at a time leading up to it.
I've seen a lot of good documentaries on all this stuff. The Corbett report was probably, like, to me, the biggest whistleblower source of information, with like Kroll Associates and the Bush family connection, meaning that there is, coordination or cooperation between, central intelligence agencies of the world. I mean, just like central banks. I mean, there is an equilibrium on the planet.
But it could have been, if it was something like this, it could have been a deep state not orchestrated by the state itself.
I don't know. I think 9/11 was a cooperation between global intelligence agencies.
Well, the scary thing in the world of intelligence is none of us really know what's going on.
What's Palestine?
What?
What's Palestine?
The 9/11 Jesus' birthday thing is a little weird.
Who cares?
And a lot of people made a lot of money off of trades, like before.
Yeah, there's, hedge fund that tracks all the congressional transactions, but that's still delayed data, because everybody has to make these financial disclosures.
I don't think that's a real thing, sir.
Have I ever been to the Holy what?
Schnitzel.
That is so bizarre that I was just looking at it on Uber Eats as you
Are
said
you
it.
serious?
Yes. Yes. I was just about to order from Holy Schnitzel. Yes, I've eaten it. Can I tell you something? What the heck is going on? The schnitzel in Israel is so much better than the schnitzel here.
You think?
So much better.
Probably
Everything in Israel is better.
Yeah.
Probably less steroids than chickens.
Even the water, the air, everything.
Everything is better. I found this.
Okay.
I found this little like kosher hole in the wall next to the American embassy, and like the taxi drivers are eating there and stuff. I love to go to holes in the wall. And you just
If you're gonna get something from Holy Schnitzel, get the butter special.
Oh, I saw that. I know.
Get. Trust me, it'll fill your stomach. Yeah, you won't even be able to finish it. It's worth it. You and your son could probably split the sandwich and you have the fries, and you'll be good after. Like, it's very good.
We do that. I send him kosher.
Yeah, butter. Yeah, so then get the butter special. It's perfect for them.
And he goes, Dad, I said the bracha. Like I didn't even ask him.
That's good.
I know. It's like it's all about leading by example.
Absolutely.
Nagging is useless. But leading by example, they
that's
want
my
to.
way. That's true. That's true. It's true. I definitely think it could make a good impact on a child. Like when he's young, seeing his father rapping to tefillin with his talis.
Oh yeah.
I think it makes a big impact on a child.
He's into it.
What about this 9/11 stuff? Just because Tower 7 almost definitely is a does that mean that necessarily?
I couldn't hear you. You're in the Matrix, Doctor.
Not having conspiracies, bro. It's like a whole rabbit hole. I don't want to go. What I said was, just because Tower 7, which I believe you guys, and the Pentagon look like controlled explosions.
Also, Shanksville. Shanksville was a rocket too. I do not believe the plane went into Shanksville. And so when Trump puts that big stand over in Shanksville and does a ceremony in Shanksville, I just think he's like continuing the propaganda.
Why do you think that? You think the stories
Because
are
the video, the pictures, like I'm just I want to try to eliminate a hindsight bias and say when I see a picture of Shanksville, that to me looks like a rocket implosion and not a plane implosion.
Wait, you saw a picture of the implosion, of the explosion?
Shanksville, yeah, everybody's the videos, yeah, you can just go on Google, YouTube, and look up Shanksville and be like, is that a plane? Nah.
Maybe I should look at that before I weigh in.
Yeah, it's just not a plane. I mean, you've seen then Google plane crashes, and you will see tons of fucking plane debris. And Shanksville's got no fucking plane debris. So explain that one to
So
me.
you think that all the people that were victims are just like in the witness protection program?
No, I'm saying they were probably fake identities, and it was an empty plane.
Oh my god.
But what about the people? But there were victims in 9/11.
100%, thousands.
But you think just the plane people are fake? All the people on the planes were fake?
No, listen. This is like the plane stuff is, I don't really have much to say about
Would
it.
it make more sense that they got hit by a missile, though, and they were real, or no?
I don't know. Did you ever see on Dateline interviews with like 100 people, impacted by 9/11, like their wife, their husband, their kids? Like, you ever see any fucking videos about the people that died on those planes and like, complex interviews with people who knew them? I never seen those videos. You ever seen those videos?
I saw Flight 93. That was pretty good.
Yeah, you saw a Hollywood adaptation of most likely an entirely scripted event.
But why do you go right to that? Like, wouldn't what I said earlier be like more likely that they were struck down by a missile, just like the Pentagon, and it was real people?
I don't know. I'm just saying that whatever the official story is, that is not the real story. We have been lied to with regards to 9/11.
Alright, just mind that.
Hey, are you there, Mr. Harold? Harold?
Which deep state operative just said, let's move on?
Michael Aquino.
Okay, writing that down in my book.
I'm a deep sea agent. Just see Shiva Bacher.
It's Doctor.
Like, what was it, Ilhan Omar, when she's like, some people did something that day?
She's a sharmuta.
If there's one person I'd like to see arrested and deported, it would be Ilhan Omar for marrying her brother and falsifying her immigration papers.
Send her to China.
No, we should send her to Gitmo.
Send her to New Delhi.
Yeah, after we capture Ilhan Omar, we should round up about 150,000 Somalis out of Minnesota and also deport them back to Somalia. That's just my opinion.
I speak Yiddish. What do you think?
I mean, I'm just actually kind of kidding about the Somalis, but not really.
Reinforce and convert them into Hasidism. What do you think?
I don't know. We got a new Chicago Polak as the Pope, That's exciting news for people. The guy's so Polish, he doesn't even know he's the Pope. You know how Nazi Germany conquered Poland so quickly? They marched in backwards and the Polacks thought they were leaving. Anyways, what are you doing tonight, Doctor Responsible? Are you going to be out in your garden listening to crickets while your wife continues to raise your children with an absentee husband?
Holy shit. How did you know? I'm about to go plant some plants for Mother's Day in the dark for my wife. And I want to know how you do that.
I have access to a Starlink terminal, and whoever I talk with here on Clown House, I can take a Starlink camera and just zoom down with like 100,000, magnifying glass telescope, and just see exactly whoever I'm talking to. It's like a remote viewing project that Elon Musk has been working on.
Can you see this?
These nuts.
This is a chocolate star waving to you.
You know, I was looking at the moon through a telescope the other night, and I couldn't fucking focus it. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get this telescope to focus on the moon. So I pulled out a pair of binoculars, looked at the moon. I bought 3 telescopes, and they're all very difficult to use.
That's good. The moon's fake. It's a projector up on Trump Tower. I'm just saying.
What?
Do you know how many moons Mars has?
No.
I know they found a new one, right?
Do we like the firmament?
Did we like the firmament? So funny.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the moon landing? Like the fact that you can drive a car up there, drive it around, play golf, fly back to the Pacific, and then go to Hollywood and like talk to Nixon, Is it propaganda?
I'm not buying it. I'm really not. And also, they can't do it again. And also, that black lady took them there. But she was just such an autist with numbers.
The human computer African American?
Yeah. It doesn't add up. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they continue this behavior? It couldn't have been that hard.
So I used to live in what's called Century City in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I heard of it.
And there's this hotel there that has this amazing lobby in the basement. It's an older hotel, but it's a huge hotel. And they had all these black and white photos, like old historic photos. So there's a photo of Nixon with ABC, CBS, NBC, and this giant box with a glass window, and these astronauts who just came back from the moon. And it looks like the Nixon Johnny Carson show. And it was at that moment that I realized the connection between, major media, because NBC, CBS, ABC, that's all there was, those 3 networks. So that was the networks to the world. I mean, and that whole lunar mission, I mean, think about Tom Hanks. Like, to me, that's the big giveaway. It's like, it's all fucking fake. If Tom Hanks in that whole movie with what's his face, I bet you it's all fake. bet you the whole Tom Hanks movie is completely and utterly fake.
I think the Castaway was more realistic than the moon landing.
I mean, have you ever tried to visualize what it would be like to get into, let's say, even Elon Musk's, Starlink or Starship or whatever, but just think about it from the perspective of the person, like, in the cockpit, as if you were, like, in a plane, flying a plane up on the surface of the Earth, But think about being in, like, a fucking rocket, and you're flying to the fucking moon, and you're like, man, we're getting closer to the fucking moon. We're about 50 minutes away from the moon. And you're just like fucking blasting, because you got to have a lot of rocket propellant to get to the fucking moon. Then you get to the fucking moon, and then, like, what do? You get into, like, a geosynchronous orbit with the fucking moon or something. You're floating around the moon, and then you're like, all right, let's send down the fucking capsule. You fucking land this fucking other spacecraft on the surface of the fucking moon with a fucking car and a set of golf clubs and some cameras. And oh, don't forget, this shit's being beamed back real time. You know that part too about the whole story, that the whole thing is live, right? You know that, right? There's like a 15-minute delay or some shit. So anyways, I'm just saying, then they got back in that fucking capsule. They fucking flew back up to the mothership, and then they flew the mothership to the Pacific. And then they went on ABC CBS to tell the story. Is that fucking real? I don't think so.
Did you ever see the video of Neil Armstrong trying to land there or trying to test the lunar module on Earth, and it exploded and he ejected from it in the very last second before it exploded? And that was on Earth. I don't know if you guys saw that video ever, but yeah, there's a video of that. So yeah, and somebody on the chat was arguing with me one day about it, saying that I said that it's fake. I completely agree with you. And they were saying I was crazy like a flat earther and all this shit for that. Oh man.
I don't know, what's that one guy's name, Neil Armstrong, who like gets visibly angry, like, and actually attacks people when they say swear on the Bible. Yeah, like if you really landed on the fucking moon, do you know how much of a G you are? You don't need to get angry at conspiracy theorists who are trolling you. You could sit them down and say, listen, son, you stupid fucking loser. I landed on that fucking moon, bitch. I fucking flew a rocket ship up there and flew fucking, like, you know, you wouldn't get angry because you really would be like one of the rarest humans on the fucking planet. I mean, you know,
I flew into New Schwarber's land or whatever it's called, New Schwarbia or whatever,
But I don't know. The other thing is the Stanley Kubrick films, like where he's saying it's all of, you know, a government federal intelligence operation and a propaganda effort. I mean, I don't know if it's real or fake. I mean, because I know we have.
You know that if you're going up in Elon's spacecraft or the Blue spacecraft, the story you were doing before about, okay, the moon is 15 minutes away. Like, the moon is like hours away from where they're going. They're going up like a couple of miles up into the lower atmosphere. They're not even getting into like orbit. They're in low Earth orbit at the maximum.
Well, Russia didn't give a fuck. They just send people out there to fucking die, you know? They're just like, oh, we don't care if you die. We're gonna send some dogs out there and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I could just be entertaining and hypnotizing you all, because like I can pull out my binoculars and look at the moon and say, yeah, that bitch isn't that far. I can fucking see it with a fucking pair of binoculars. So to think that you couldn't take a rocket, I mean, why the fuck haven't we shot a fucking rocket into the fucking moon?
We shot 3 rockets like 2 years ago, you know, on April 6th during the eclipse. We were shooting the rockets with all the Egyptian shit on it. You know, we did it. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Anyways, I'm just saying, if you've ever been outside of the American bubble, you realize that, like, we're probably a bunch of fucking liars.
The thing is, though, Edmund, you are more likely to find people that are kind of believe like you or awake like you than in America than anywhere else. A lot of these countries believe our mythos more than we do. Especially Israel. They believe everything we spit out.
I mean, you're talking about a country with 12 million people, and then, you know...
What, Canada?
No, Israel.
Oh. Wow. Their population is pretty close, isn't it?
It's the size of the city of Chicago in terms of population, and Chicago is like 100 times bigger, you know? Israel's a tiny little fucking... coastal enclave, nothing. It's you know, the Israel basically, I don't know. I think there's a major difference between Israeli Jews and, you know, diaspora Jews, European and American Jews. There's a big difference. But the thing is, once you become acclimated to a culture, there's no more difference. So they're no different than anybody else. Just nobody wants to get fucking murdered. Nobody wants terrorism. I mean, nobody wants somebody fucking driving a bus into you. Nobody wants somebody shooting you while you're driving on a highway. Like, if there's a violation of the law and somebody gets murdered, there's no greater problem in society. Like, but I don't understand. America is so crazy. In Chicago this summer, 3,000 people will get murdered in the streets with guns. It's like Pritzker doesn't call. There's never an emergency in America. Just outside of America, that's the only place that there's ever emergencies.
Well, listen, I'm trying to do my part. I'm watching The House of David on Amazon Prime. And I think that's my contribution to the tribe. It's a great show. And you guys need to keep that land just like you took it away from Goliath.
Did you see the Ellie Cohen saga with Sacha Baron Cohen, where he played the Syrian spy who fooled the Syrians?
No.
If you want a good laugh, watch Sacha Baron Cohen play Ellie Cohen, the Israeli spy.
Called if I look it up?
Just type in Sacha Baron Cohen, Ellie Cohen, the spy, and you'll go on YouTube and you'll fucking laugh your ass off. Because it's actually very good. It's actually very good.
He's always good.
Yeah, he is good. Peace. Anyways, why does Harry? Why do you have a new party hat? What happened here?
I got banned, not like suspended indefinitely. Because of a PTR that I had. It was a Muslim guy praying on the ground, and there was a goat. It was like AI image of a goat behind him getting fucked. You're fucking him. And so yeah, I guess that's like not appropriate enough for Clubhouse. So got banned. And I was like my third strike on that account. So I'm shocked I had that account for that long. Honestly.
I can't believe I haven't been banned in quite a while. I can't believe it.
Because you probably, honestly, I think what it is, it's like you have enough people have to report you, and then I guess they have to have some kind of obvious evidence. I don't know what it is. Maybe I think it's just the PTRs now that they're banning people for. I have no idea. So I was honestly shocked to see that because I've like known that it seems like they kind of like been leaning off of banning people, then they were very heavily on doing that before, but now it's like I feel like they were very lenient on it. I guess not. It's honestly really stupid if you think about it. They think like once you ban your account, no one can get back on that. There's no point in doing it. Like what the fuck is the point of doing it? So, I don't know. The guys who created this app were just retarded.
I know.
Have you been on that Chatter app or whatever?
No, hell no.
From Nelson?
What's the point? It's just one more waste of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's fun. I tried to download it just to see. I never wanted to. And then when I downloaded it, it says, it asks you for all your information. I put mail. And then you get to the final page. It says, well, sorry. Right now we're only doing invites, so we'll send you an invite whenever there's a spot open, pretty much. And it's like, if you want, maybe you can reach out to us and we can see if we can get you a spot. And it gives you like their Instagram or whatever, their Twitter or whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck? They make you give all your information. They probably sell your data to make money to fucking open the app, to keep the app running. So.
I think they use it as like a way to qualify people to like see how much they can scam them or if they're a potential victim for their investment scam, It's kind of what they do. It's like a very high filtration app, It's like, we'll call you, don't call us. That's basically it's a filter app in a way, but they must put a lot of money into it if it really even works. I mean, I don't even know anybody, a couple people who say they use it.
The funny part about all that shit is that guy Jonathan, like his friend who I guess is doing it with him, did all the rooms with him. He opens a room here on Clubhouse.
I know.
And then they stream the room from Chatter to here. It's like, what the fuck? But you're requiring people to get an invite to join your app. How are you going to build your numbers and shit if you're only making the invitation only? That makes absolutely no sense. It's like it's a place for Nelson to go and talk and not being able to be the king, right? So no one can moderate him. No one could do shit. He can run his own app and be on his own app at the same time and talk about whatever he wants to talk about. So It's just a power move, I would say. And he brought his whole audience with him, and now he realized, like, if I can't bring the whole audience with me, we'll just advertise it on fucking Clubhouse and Twitter and shit. Because he was also on Twitter too, so.
Yeah, but
Or X, I should say.
I mean, it's just all stupid conversation. It's mostly all just gossip and fucking jibber jabber. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's content. I guess it is content, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a small audience, really.
Yeah, if you think about it in the long run, it's a very small audience.
Grant Cardone is like their.
On TikTok was way bigger.
Grant Cardone is like.
Oh yeah, he's like their.
Yeah. He's
the guy who brings everybody.
Yeah, he is their authority, or their credibility in a way. He's the only like real notable notoriety kind of person, and his it is what it is. I mean.
Honestly, I didn't even know who the fuck he was until I was on Clubhouse. I never heard of his name in my life before until I went on Clubhouse, and then all of a sudden I started seeing like ads everywhere on fucking Facebook and everything about Grant Cardone's book, and he had all these videos of him selling shit and like selling his promotions of how to make money or whatever, all this shit. It was like everywhere at one point.
Yeah.
On Twitter, on fucking, it was I don't know what he did, I don't know what it was, but. I didn't know who the fuck that guy was before Clubhouse. So, no idea. Bro, Lex Friedman used to come into our rooms, bro. People know who that guy is.
I clipped him from this app one time, and he messaged me. He's like, "That's not very cool, bro. Recording people without their permission." It was all because like we were giving him dating advice. And he just said some really cringe shit, and it was very funny.
No, nigger.
Dr. Pepe has arrived. Dr. Pepe, I was wondering, what is your first name?
I'm not telling you that shit.
I mean, is it like, can I guess it? Like, is it Tony? Is it like Andy? Is it like Steven? Peter?
It's a name that. Rather universal. Jews, Christians,
John?
all ethnicities tend to have it.
John, are you
starts with a P.
Abraham.
Paul?
No.
Peter?
I'm not going to help you.
Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Just was curious.
You
Danny.
Popular P name?
Huh?
Is that your other room?
Peter?
Yeah, I have a room open called White Racism.
Peter, Paul.
Because I was in chillism, and they just go so hard against white people, and it's just ridiculous.
It's Paulo. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I like the name
I
Paulo.
know, it's total brain rot.
Yeah, because Jews name their kids Paulo all the time.
Never.
I know. That's why I'm full of shit.
I met one. It's a nice name.
Well, I guess like if you're like from Brazil or some shit, but I mean,
it's Italian.
It does start with a P, but very basic first
That
name.
room's hilarious, bro. That Talia girl takes her job so seriously. It's like, do they really have lives? These people, every day they're opening this room, and it's like, okay, guys, you're next in order, then you're next, and then you're next. And please don't talk over this person, and you know what? You can go at it, and they put all these rules in. Like,
I'm bored. I want to troll people.
Really bored with their life.
They put so much time into it that like if you go to YouTube and you type in Chillism Clubhouse, all you see is my videos, and they're just all damning videos, and you're like, I can't believe these people will spend this much time every day, and it's really basically people essentially trying to demonstrate their command of the English language. They would be so much better off just reading the dictionary into the room, because, and the funniest thing is when they try to use technical terms, not even technical terms, but just words like steel man that argument.
They don't know what it means. Yeah.
It's the whole thing is like kids kind of trying to like play the debate game, and you're like, this is very funny. It's, I don't know. I stopped
going in there months ago, dude. Like, I couldn't.
They kick me.
You have like Louis. You have all of the belligerent, low IQ, black retards,
and then white retards. It's a nice swirl of both. And like I forget, it was like Cool Guy Dave or whatever. I forget, Cool Dad Dave. I forget. He's a nice guy.
Well, I love that they kick me. Like, I don't even say anything. I'm in the audience and they kick all my accounts. And to me, that's like a big compliment. That means that like I'm in somebody's head and they're actively scanning the audience and like they see my kick them. Like, that's the way somebody actually feels. And, you know, to me, that's like a big like compliment because I've like psyoped them because the whole thing is chillism. It's really not about being chill. It's actually about like reverse racism and really projection and self-esteem boosting and virtue signaling and every other crazy.
Are they like reverse racist now? Because they used to tolerate me a lot.
Well, not like huge quantities of white racism, but I'm just saying that it's the same. It's an entertainment room, and like you're just to me, it's just terrible entertainment because you're like listening to really low intelligent people debate words. It's the same show every single room.
I mean, you've been in Lou Fax rooms before?
Yeah.
Like I'll go in there. I don't even know why. I actually like I've questioned myself so many times. Like, why am I here with these fucking retards? But you know.
No, I get it. I mean, but the thing is, I record, and it's like I don't know how anybody can listen to things without recording it because I'm like I wouldn't dare waste my fucking I wouldn't dare waste my brain listening to something knowing that I wouldn't listen to it unless I was recording it. I don't even like, you know how this app does the preview now? It's like I want to turn the volume down because I don't even want to hear, you know, most of these rooms.
How do you do that?
I turn the volume down now because I have Android. I don't want to listen to all these
Diego?
rooms. No, this is
Oh,
Harry.
it's only on the 8 Android right now. The previews.
This is Harry Balser.
What room are these faggots in? I can't see anything.
I'm in Coexistence ODB Start Step B with Harry Balzac.
Where is it? I'm looking.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had preview yet.
Diego kicked me out of his room today. What do you think about the new Pope? You're Catholic, right, Pepe?
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
I don't know. I'm hearing mixed opinions. Some people are saying he's like too woke or some stupid shit, but the reality is like you think you're gonna get a fucking a pope that's gonna be like anti-immigration and all of that shit. Like that's not gonna happen. That's just like you're not caring about the plight of all of mankind, especially fellow Catholics. That's always going to be a thing. I'm sorry, they're not going to be like Nazis. It's not going to happen. But I don't know. People are retarded. He doesn't seem like he seems kind of moderate, if anything. He doesn't want hoes to be deacons. He has pretty strong stances on that.
Did you see?
But it's weird. They're trying to say oh, he's part of the global Marxist New World Order, and it's really weird. And these faggots have been doing this for a long time. But like a lot of the neo-Nazi types that are still around on X, like a couple of the leaders like followed me a couple days ago, and they're trying to get me to go in their rooms, and now they're just like on a flat out anti-Abrahamic Abrahamic religion bend, and this has been going on for a couple of years, but now it's like kind of pushing strong. They're saying like, if you're pro-white, you cannot be Christian, you can't be yada yada yada, because it's just like it will imperil our people. It's just weird. So now Christians and Catholics are kind of getting caught up in the anti-white conspiracy theory stuff, so we'll see.
Well, it's anti-American. There's a fact that there's an anti-American conspiracy theory in the Biden administration. I mean, that's beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, the border invasion is absolutely fucking insane. I regularly see what I would consider to be illegal aliens roaming the street, in like an impoverished condition, and I'm just like, man. A lot of fucking people. You know, this is the thing. We don't even have the manpower to actually do mass deportation. We just don't have it.
Yeah, I know. I wish we did, but I don't think either side really cares too much.
See, we do have the
At least most
manpower.
power.
See, I'm crazy because we do have the manpower. We have so many police.
Of course we do.
Yeah, we have police that could easily do it. We have National Guard soldiers that could easily do it, but we don't have the willpower to do it.
Woodrow Wilson rounded those beaners up and shipped them back regularly.
But you know, if you think about the economy, like I go to a lot of restaurants powered by Hispanic Mexican labor primarily, and
Sing. Talking accent.
What do you want to
When
hear?
you speak, sing it. Sing it. Sing your words when you speak.
¿Por qué no te hablan español? ¿Por qué no te calles? Why did you interrupt me? I was born here as an anchor baby, and he's making fun of me.
You're going to make me laugh so hard, I'm going to shit in my culo.
Edwin.
I got the mushies in my pantalones.
Dodge. Pepe, do you hear me, Pepe?
See again?
Pepe. Pepe, I was filming videos of myself today with a Pepe mask on, and I got thousands and thousands of views. Never had one lesson.
CK, pinche mayate.
My friend.
So Pepe, if the Pope comes to America, which he certainly will, and he invited you to the gathering, would you go to meet the Pope?
Yeah, why not?
What would you tell the Pope if you had 10 minutes of his time?
I don't. Well, I mean, if I knew I was going to have 10 minutes of his time, I'd probably spend all day thinking about what I'd ask him. So I really don't. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I mean, you do realize when you meet the Pope, and you actually, anytime you ever really meet somebody, no matter who they are, you realize, oh, it's just another fucking person who's gonna die. And that's...
Well, sure, but
yeah.
I mean, it's like, but if there's like, compared to like a celebrity or some shit like that, it's just like, I'm sure people like me might have like existential life questions and, you know, questions about certain things involving morality, and it's just like what am I supposed to fucking do? Like what realistically would I would ask those kinds of questions. And no celebrity could answer those questions, but he could at least answer those questions, you know, enlightened by, you know, biblical doctrine according to the Catholic Church. So that's the only reason it would be like, I would put way more thought into meeting somebody like him.
What do you think about like American Protestantism versus American Catholicism? You know, like those that historical religious competition in America.
Edmund, unmute your mic. Unmute.
They have flaws.
So you do hear me.
Like if you're to look at Protestants, there's good things about them in comparison to Catholics, and I would say that like
when
the whole thing with
respond to
Protestant
Pepe,
work ethic.
Your words must be sung. Sing to Pepe.
I would say that like when we think of like a lot of the positive traits of white people, for example, in the United States, like the original founding stock, where it's like they're not they manage money rather wisely. They're not, you know, flashy. They in a lot of ways there's like it's almost like they preach a form of stoicism that you don't quite see with Catholics, but with Catholics it is something that you kind of got with it was more of like the third world part of Europe that brought Catholicism, like Ireland, Italy, some of the Germans, which, you know, is not third world. And it is kind of, you know, they do, and I kind of like this part where it's like, yeah, they do want to help out the needy and the downtrodden, and to treat the least amongst us with kind and compassion. Where you don't quite, I just don't really see that with the Protestants. And I think then we can just go into like evangelical Christianity, which I think is fucking gross.
Oh, yeah, evangelicals. Ugh.
Yeah, but I mean, evangelicals are just Protestants.
Have you not seen him, bro? What the hell?
I don't think
You're supposed to sing that.
I differentiate them
Sing your
from
response, man.
Protestants.
Oh, I forgot. I gotta sing you a response. Why don't you think that Protestants are evangelicals?
Let me because
Lies. The evangelic means pertaining to, and all means a condition pertaining to. So you're talking about a condition pertaining to, like, evangelizing. It doesn't mean that, like, when you evangelize the word of the Lord, you're immediately a Protestant. But if you're evangelic, like, you're literally just describing, a condition pertaining to evangelizing.
He's the Imam Mahdi. Please.
yeah, see,
Doc, you are the Imam Mahdi.
will like read the Bible and then translate it as they see fit. They will.
Dude, I have my concordance. Do you want me to break it out and put my glasses on?
I don't know. I mean, like, when you look at the Schofield Bible, it's like it's a bunch of faggotry and bullshit.
And no one can say otherwise.
I don't know. I just the thing is though that I could read the Torah. I could read. I mean, I'm probably nobody really reads the Talmud, but I could do this shit. However, like just like if I read the Quran, I would be if I was just to try to interpret everything, and especially as I would see as being the literal words, I would never be considered an expert in Islam. The same would go in Judaism. The same goes in Christianity. And I think evangelicals, that's where they like really
Doc,
fuck
you
up.
are the Imam Mahdi.
Doc, you are the Imam Mahdi. No one
So
can say
Pepe.
otherwise.
Oh, Pepe left.
I am the Mahdi.
Pepe left.
Doc, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
Bigby doesn't understand his ass ground. That's why he left. Yeah, I am the Son of God. You are correct.
You are the Imam al-Mahdi.
Yeah. That's like saying, you're the rabbi gangster.
You're the 12th Imam, the hidden Imam.
Do I need to come give your mom a hug? Why you keep talking about your mom?
You come from Ali.
This guy's autistic.
No, I'm Yiddish.
He's a Yiddish
Hey,
autist.
well,
He's a Yiddish.
he did not come back like, no, I'm Yiddish. Oh, Jesus, I need to roll me a blunt on that one. This ninja has no idea. You alright, John?
Mm-hmm.
How goes the campaign?
It goes. We wage war.
Doc. The Jews.
Yes, I'm listening.
We got a talking ape in here.
The Jews are your father.
Well, I mean, my great-great-grandfather was Ibrahim Rothschild, so you're probably not wrong.
We are your ancestors.
Who?
The Jew.
I didn't mean to sound like an owl.
The Jew is your ancestor.
Yeah, so are a lot of other people. Am I supposed to pick from one?
Are you a Viking?
Well, I think I might have a little bit of Norsican in me because I can grow a mean beard.
Somali pirate?
Well, I mean, I'm not a fucking cornbread Ethiopian that had to run out of fucking Ethiopia because they fucked their cousin and became a Somali.
Those damn Somalis.
Bro, you sound like you're a Sudanese and you want to fight. Like, I'm Southern Sudanese. You want to fight about it?
I don't like the North Sudanese, man. I like the South Sudanese, the Dinka tribe, man.
Bro, you don't want no smoke. He's scared.
So you had a great-great-great-grandmother named Fatima?
I don't know who my great-great-great-grandmother is. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Mahdi, so you must know that you come from Fatima and Ali.
I know that.
Do you own a
my
black
great-great-grandma was the granddaughter of a runaway slave and a Native American Seminole Indian female. And
Can I
then,
sponsor you a
but
black
I
turban?
don't know much about my great-great-grandmother's mother. Because I've read the book, but there's not a lot written about her.
Can I sponsor you a black turban? You can be a Sayyid, you can be the Imam.
Well, I mean, I am a religious leader, if you want to know, within my own community. I mean, I could be an imam, I could be a sheikh, I could be a reverend. You know, in your religion, I would be all three of those at the same time, like the Holy Trinity.
Prime Minister.
I mean, when we make Canada the 51st state, yes.
Well, it could be the 50 states of Yiddish.
Why are you stuttering?
I'm thinking. I think maybe 50 states of Israel. The United States of Israel would be very nice. You could have Gaza, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, be the states of Israel. We can
See,
make
I mean,
Jordan a
you don't understand American politics because you're not American. You sound stupid when you talk about your version of our geopolitics.
Stutter step.
Only one step.
Bury you in the Great Pumpkin Patch.
Oh, I dare you. I dare you.
I was talking philosophically, not physically. I'm not trying to, like, you know, tell you that I'm going to commit physical harm against you, but if you want to talk about, like, please come at me. Dude, but you sound like a bitch the way you talk. Pussy. Pussy.
You see, you don't even know. You can't even read English, can you?
I'm inshallah.
What do you think my race is, mister?
Not American.
This is so stupid.
You think I am, mister?
Oh my gosh, I can't take it. Oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore.
Bro, if he's really American, that's the sad part.
Oh,
okay, my bad.
This nigga trying to mess up.
Funny with the money, you got me mistaken, honey. I didn't want to rape you. I just want the papers. The visa, Capisha. I like the papers. Who the hell honcho? Sick like a...
Okay.
The guy was obviously egging her on in the video. That was very clear to see in the video. That was very clear to see.
But I don't understand. Why are you not defending yourself right now? You're air-brewing full of like Jewish.
Randy, what's up with that PTR? Is that Diego?
This is where you think I don't defend myself?
Jesus. Yo, Robert, man, what happened? You must really be depressed. You got huge. Put on 100 pounds? 120 pounds.
YouTube link in the chat. My friend wants to watch it on YouTube.
Actually, never mind. That guy's hair is thicker than yours. Yours is thinning out.
Can you post
Anyone can egg on a woman and get a rise out of her. I
I told Elle that I hit my girlfriend, and she got like livid. I could have played that up and got her a rise out of her. It's easy.
Why is that me?
Dude, I just wish that your girlfriend was my sister, so I could come over and like stick a knife in your throat.
Hit your girlfriend twice. How do you not respect?
I would love to put an
She's a woman you've never even met, and you got a rise out of her.
I don't condone any violence towards anyone.
Okay, then. Get out of Gaza. Violence. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Going to war.
God taught me about it.
The God of War?
I don't think boyfriends should hit their girlfriend.
Yeah, it's just God.
I think you're lying about what you condone and what you don't condone. For example, I'm very honest.
Are you telling me that God didn't tell that, like, you know, his army go down there and kill those people and then get all the gold and bring it back? And don't keep any of it for yourself, but then there was that one dumb fuck that buried the 2 pieces of gold underneath his tent and got, like, crucified for it. Bitch, please. Got me fucked up like I don't know what the fuck
You guys never see a single day of peace. Fucking faggots.
We're talking about domestic violence.
I do condone domestic
No,
violence.
yo, faggot ass trick mouth needs to shut the fuck up. You sound like a pussy bitch.
So is Robbie
What's up, Long?
a Palestinian or Israel? No, I'm just someone who's very realistic and I'm opportunistic. And whenever I see opportunity, my hand protrudes and sees that.
You start rubbing your hands together, don't you?
Yes, I actually do.
Licking your lips, hunching your back, and snickering.
No, my back is always hunched.
Then you should stop playing the I'm Palestinian card.
Hey, hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, act like they know what they're talking about, but they don't know shit.
Girl, but I told you before, dude. Man, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'll mute up.
Be a gentleman, Randy. Once in your life.
To be fair, if we're all sitting here on Clubhouse, like talking. Al, should I tell you in private? Why should we care?
Tell me what.
What I wanted to say.
Sure.
What do you want to get off his chest?
Yeah, I don't want to say it in public. I'll say it in private.
Okay.
Bro, I hate to come over and take a shit on that motherfucker. He's had a feeling growing inside of him for a long time, and he has to get it out, but he doesn't want to put it on the record. Yeah, well, he took a shit on somebody else's chest like he was in Dubai, trying to fucking, like, you know, pay $25 grand to crap on a bitch's chest and videotape. That feeling is slightly below the belly button and above the knees. And it's pointing straight at you. What the fuck tartary are you talking about? You sound dumb as fuck. Boom. And I'm the one drinking beer. Why can't we all get along? No, please make it make sense when I'm drinking beer. I'm still smarter than you.
Exactly.
And the shekels
think about Ukraine. Just think about Ukraine. BlackRock owns a huge share in the weapon manufacturing companies, which make a shit ton of money by destroying Ukraine. But then BlackRock has all the construction contracts with Ukraine after the war. Yeah. So why wouldn't I want to war in Ukraine?
You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Tell me, and I will. Right now, I will.
Like, well, if you know anything about their, tell me. Tell me the difference of nature. Tell me. Then tell me. Tell me what. Tell me what. You're talking over me. You hear me ask the question.
Morality, then?
I said, ask me.
Denialism?
I said, I'm a dude. You're not letting me talk because you're not being very smart.
Your life
is
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Is the standard of morality.
I'm asking you. Like the fact that you're so stupid, you don't understand the difference between KBR or Halliburton.
My personal interests. You are my nigger. In other words,
I thought that you lost nigger in the room.
You are my nigger. I didn't know we were talking to the king of the world here.
Randy, did you sell the bottom?
Well, bow down.
You got wrecked, dude.
We are all just figments of imagination. We only exist in your head.
No. You exist in physicality. You do exist, but I'm saying
Randy,
the only reason.
Randy, are the niggers in the room with you now?
Yes. That's all of us.
But Randy, I thought that you lost all your investments.
Every human being is literally.
I really like Melissa.
Thank you.
Randy, I
Hey, how do you want me to answer this?
buy some whips and chains.
He lost all his money. It's on mute.
How did he lose all his money, though? Make it make sense.
All the tariffs, he lost all his money.
Oh, well, markets are...
Oh, me? No, last
That's what
year
you say
in
about
2024,
Florida
I
housing
made
market, but
six
not true.
figures on interest out of my
I mean,
investments.
all the recent comps
But
in my
in
neighborhood
the
are so
last
above what I
like
paid.
5 months,
Good-
I've lost
good
like
bet.
$48,000 on some of my investments
So
because
you're
I've
a
been
good
heavily
Jew,
invested
yeah.
in Tesla. You know, but you know what?
People, we no
It don't
longer
matter
live in a
because I
world
don't
of
really give
nations
a
and
fuck.
ideologies.
You pussy bitches
The
don't even
world
know
is
how
a
to invest.
college
You
of
bitches don't even know how to live
corporations,
within your means.
inexorably
You got
determined by the
credit
immutable
cards.
bylaws
You're
of
fucking
business.
stupid.
The world is a business, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
It has been since the man crawled out of the primordial ooze. You get that?
I got
One
your
vast...
for a second.
Everybody clap. Everybody. Diego's 1% understood it. Thank God.
There's one vast and ecumenical holding company for whom all men will work to serve a common profit, in which all men will hold a share of stock. Tranquilized, all boredom amused.
So what about Palestine?
And Palestine will be the great circus
About that park
that we watch on television as Randy counts his shekels.
That's crazy. Just think about it. As someone who is not really involved there, why would you be involved in any way that doesn't add to your investment portfolio? Like, are you guys dumb? Why do you listen?
Wait a second. Randy, this is something you don't know.
But
that was the end.
Yeah, because sometimes your investments not good enough. But like, that's fine. You learn and you grow.
And I will fucking murk everybody.
Do you think, would you kill Noura? No, but Noura is Palestinian. I would tell her, Noura, fuck your children. Elle is Israeli. I would tell her, Elle, fuck your hostages. And I would move on.
I don't believe you really think that.
Bro, dude, please test my face.
Deep down, he cries himself at night, but let's not talk about that.
Down, I laugh my ass off because you guys are wasting your time on Cockhouse talking about shit that don't add anything to your life. Nigga, I'm doing my CFA. I don't care about you motherfuckers. I'll go back.
John, do you agree with that? Are we wasting our time?
Yeah, 100%.
I've been learning, like, Rabor Learn Shalom Light is something I know from,
It don't feel like we're wasting our
that
time.
was brilliant, that taught me that I'm the master of my own universe.
Oh, well, I had a total discussion with Lou about this. She can't talk anymore because of what she did. So you guys can't waste your time.
I'm with my friend.
You guys are unable to waste your time. Diego.
It feels like performance art, Randy.
I'm telling you, you guys are
Yes,
unable.
he is very performative and broke.
You're unable to waste your time because for you to waste your time, by definition, that means that there's a better use for it. And you guys, you're all losers. You're on Cockhouse wasting your damn time. I'm just telling you, like
We're wasting your time.
No, you can't even waste your time.
That's why we're here. If
There's
you
no
if we
better
weren't here,
alternative.
you wouldn't come on here. So we're here.
There's no better alternative use of your time, and
So
therefore
you
you're
could
not
be making
doing it.
money instead of wasting your time here with us.
I think
can't
Randy
make money
says
right
he makes
now.
money while he sleeps. I think
He
so.
loses money while he's asleep.
Okay, did you see Diego? Did you see what happened to
You see how he's
Bitcoin
trying to turn on the big mic?
today? Just today. Did you see Bitcoin price today?
Yeah, that's because of the Pope.
It's so true.
You know, we made a shit ton of money today, nigga. Why did you think I'm so happy?
That's because they elected a Pope.
No, it's because of the deal with England.
What was the price of Bitcoin yesterday?
Was there a Pope meeting?
Was there a Pope yesterday? No.
Yeah, what was the price yesterday?
It's not so bad yesterday, actually. It went up, but today it went up amazing. It's beautiful.
All the, like, the sexual crimes and
Yeah, but you had your money in NVIDIA.
It's been going up there for today. I made a shit ton with NVIDIA. I bought it at 182 recently when it dipped with the Liberation Day.
There you go.
That's right. It went to 465. Motherfucker, now it's back to 514, is it?
Amazing.
What was it from December
literally, you guys
31st
all you do is waste your
until
time.
last week?
Jew, bro. Huh? You're a Jew. I'm more Jewish than the Jews. At least I make money. Holy fuck. Yeah, bro. Sure. Big up.
You lose money. You were Diego. Refresh my memory.
Actually, the Jews make me money.
Was Little
And there's
Rabbit
something
done
called
complaining to us
Alliance
about how
Investment
much money he lost no more than 2
That's
weeks
true,
ago?
actually. Yeah, I do remember that. There was a lot of kvetching.
No, the American Liberation
Oh,
Movement.
tears distortion.
There's Anne. Let's see how she can contribute to this.
riveting
Anne is my favorite cum slut.
And am I wrong when I say
I like that.
that yesterday there was no Pope, today there is a Pope, and also the price of Bitcoin went up, and clearly there's a correlation.
Man, who's the cutie in your picture?
Oh, that's her cuck boyfriend.
You guys look cute together.
But
He's made on Clubhouse, right?
He's a cuck. He likes to see her with other men.
She still owes me that date.
She owes. I'm gonna meet her in November.
Okay, what did you say? Sorry.
They said you and whoever that is look cute together.
Oh, thank you. My boyfriend. I'm going to see him.
Yay.
Hey, priorities, and you still have, like, stuff that you have on your docket. You can't
Talk to the next team.
Always LG on principles.
Oh my god.
Dominant,
I have
being,
Botox done.
overbearing to the need to get their point across. Like that's
Are you
when
together?
they're being masculine.
In between my eyebrows and my
Argumentative, physical violence.
My head hurts so bad.
Well, Elle would get bruises if she goes to Montreal.
Oh god.
You see? No, now you're making Elle really angry.
What happened to Bonsoir? Isn't she there? Oh,
You would get a lot of bruises, Bubblebutt.
she must have left. What day is it? Thursday? I think he told us Sunday to Thursday. Yeah, he's back to harassing other people.
No, actually she's on the phone.
Well, tell her hi.
That's why I'm here.
Tell her we want to talk to her.
What do you think of the Pope, Diego?
Why would I let you talk to her, nigga?
It's clearly the reason.
Bitcoin.
The Pope
Nah,
seems
you
cool.
heard her, but you didn't talk to her.
We literally talked to her. You would ask her questions and answer from us.
Yeah, but she's literally on the phone. I'm not even supposed to. I'm only here because she's on the phone.
Like, get off with us. Go talk to her. I'd be pissed.
She's on the phone, nigga. Do you comprendo?
Like on the phone. Oh, like on the phone with somebody else. So.
No shit, Sherlock. Nigga, see, can you go to the chat between us, Al, and can you read not the last thing? Can you read what I sent you again?
On the phone could mean several things.
Okay, but can you read what I sent you
Yeah,
again?
but okay, but I didn't think.
But can you go ahead and
So
read it again, please?
what is on the phone?
Boo Boo, can you read it again?
Like on the phone with them.
But Boo Boo, can you read it again, please?
No, I'm not reading it again.
No, read it again between you and yourself. Just read it again.
I don't need to. I remember.
Yes, you do need. Okay, reiterate it.
What?
Reiterate it then.
What?
Exactly. So just go ahead and read it again, Boo Boo. How about you just close your eyes and just read it, and close your eyes and just keep repeating it, or repeat between you and yourself 10 times.
Please.
Repeat it 10 times, nigga, until you understand it.
Just stop.
Shit.
I don't know.
Wait, why did Elle leave?
So we're gonna take a walk past to say she didn't enjoy being
I was kind of weirded
I
by
wasn't
that
listening to what happened. I just.
Nah, that's not it.
He's a weirdo.
I wasn't harassing her. Why do you think I was harassing her?
What? Because that's what you do.
No.
Why do you think I've been kicking you?
I don't care. I want to be kicked. I literally told you, kick me.
And you got what you asked for.
Yeah. Did I bitch? Did I complain again?
Randy drives people away. Can I play you guys something? I think it identifies Randy perfectly.
Well, you're gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
All right.
Please.
Hang on. All right. Hang on. Here we go. Tell me if you can hear it first.
It's being young.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I miss being young. Your 20s are great. You're down for whatever. Your friends call you and they're like, "Do you want to go?" You're like, "I'll move, dude. I'll set my apartment on fire. What do you want to do?" How are we going? How late are they open? Is it loud? I'm going to drive separate.
The fuck are we listening to?
Randy!
the putative computability of what is not God have any effect on that reducting?
So, I mean, if we think about the problem of the one and the many, I mean, you can make the same objection that you're making right now. Like, we can just say that, I mean, if, for example, in the number 3, if the 3 is a unity, and, you know, there's a number 1 and 2 that preceded, and, you know, the relationship between 3 and other numbers, there's all this thing, like, how is it? Don't also explain that. I mean, we can make that.
Explain what I would just accept that.
Yeah, and I would say that the same way that we see the one and the many in all of creation, we see it in our mind, we see it in our thoughts, we see it in every object and literally everything that we can ever possibly think of. And I don't know, we see some of that in the Trinity and in real distinctions in metaphysics, because I mean, I would just affirm real distinctions in terms of, you know, divine, absolute divine simplicity. I mean, we can say the same thing. I mean, we can say that God is one and many, and the oneness, I guess, will be something that the manyness will never be able to fully, I guess, encapsulate. So I don't have a. I mean, I would just bite the bullet and I mean, just affirm that there's something similar going on with, I guess, with God thinking about us in His mind, and I just don't see your objection, man.
I feel like you're familiar with the objection you're making against, so that the way you're putting it is too smart for me. I don't. You're gonna have to explain it like you're talking to 5 pencils. Is featuring is like a like here's what I take you to be saying in general. It sounds like what you're saying in general is, hey Jimmy, if we accepted your reductio via the PSR against other Christian essentials, but since we're already committed to those, we shouldn't. What you're trying to say is that fair?
I guess in part, but I guess I'm still thinking about like how we can apply your objection on the not on universals and particulars. I was talking about one and manyness and in the number 3 and how it is a unity and that unity broke it infinitely and I guess all the possible divisions within.
But I'm saying like dimension wise, and that's that's 3 directions you can move in mobility.
Like, I don't know what you had the past experience, but you more you're safe with me. That's what I'm saying.
You must.
No, this is the thing, and this is why it's going to be fish on other planets that is a water planet, right? That like the problem is you're sitting here thinking like my existence is this, therefore the other. You like, oh, I have to travel through 3-dimensional space like in a way like I'm here, I'm gonna go there. I can only travel the speed of light if I'm not matter.
It sounds like
there could be beings.
Well, the other thing, Day, is real space, like the real 3rd dimension is non-Euclidean, so it's not up, down, left, right, forward, back.
Exactly.
First that you feel, there's 3 dimensions though. I mean, there's 3 dimensions technically regardless.
You human,
the universe isn't a 3-dimensional world. The universe is in 3 dimensions. Time is the 4th dimension. It's a higher dimension that we cannot have control of.
A hypercube is an internal cube expressing itself outwardly infinitely. That is a flower bloom. Looking at